I was muted the whole time. I knew that. I was pretty sure I was muted. Welcome back to the Garage Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's a Sunday afternoon. This is Sunday morning. Firstly, hopefully you're well. Thanks so much for joining, whether it's live or in the VOD. I trust you're well. I want to say off the top really quickly, I've been a bit under the weather the last couple days. Usually my voice fails sooner than anything else, and I did lose my voice kind of on like Friday. It was a lot worse than this. I feel like I've gotten a lot better, but this is probably unwise. So maybe I'll try and keep talking to a minimum, as impossible as that is, considering the format. But yeah, we'll just keep that in mind and not overdo it. I have tea on deck, coffee on deck, water on deck. We'll get through it because it's a Sunday morning and we're excited to play a deck that I've actually had a fair bit of time this week to do some tinkering. And that's actually really, really fun. This is like V7 of this list. Mind you, like always, it's posted in the description if you want to grab this list. And it's a protection Domino deck. And Domino is easily one of my favorite heroes. And it's been a while since I've played her. And I always forget how interesting she is. I think another thing I'll say is that this is definitely one of those videos, and I want to say maybe it's a good thing or maybe it's a bad thing, but I feel like I haven't got a comment in a while where it's like, hey, instead of doing this line, have you considered doing this line? And then the nice YouTube commenter puts out a more interesting, usually more complicated line when we're playing this game that I didn't realize at the time that I was playing. And I really like those comments because they let me reevaluate things. I try and like have to answer to myself, why did I miss that? Why am I not seeing that? And it allows you to like make sure you're not having these sort of like blind spots in your gameplay, which is good. But this is a deck that I have full confidence there's going to be a bunch of turns where we're not going to do the best thing. And that's because this deck is, well, randomness comes into it to some extent. If you're not familiar with Domino, she wants to discard cards off the top of her deck, and that can be full random. So, you know, sometimes the variance paths open up a bit earlier in the turn. Sometimes you want to figure out what those variance paths are before you're committing to the best line. But the amount of things you can do in Alter Ego and Domino is nonsense. Straight nonsense. And a lot of it is these like deterministic recursion loops where you can get cards in 3 different places to add to your hand. If you haven't played Domino, you're in for a treat. This came out, mind you, she came out in the next evolution box. It was Domino and Cable, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute. That sounds about right. And like, I just played so much Domino and not a lot of Cable. And it's wild because like Cable, I think, is probably one of the stronger characters in the whole game. And I've actually heard a lot of people talk about Domino not being particularly strong, which like I don't fully understand. I think Domino is also just kind of like buck wild powerful. And I think the next evolution box was like really where the characters, it felt to me like the power of hero decks really kind of picked up because those were both some of the strongest heroes I think we've seen in a while. So love to hear your opinions on this. I'm already feeling my voice fall apart a bit, so I think I'm going to talk a bit less or a bit more like this. We'll get a bit more ASMR streaming going on. But let me talk to you about this deck because, yeah, it's just really, really fascinating. Everyone else, hopefully everyone's doing well this Sunday morning. All right, so this is Domino. We have a 1-2-3 stat line, and we are playing protection. I'm not sure if the precon that she came with was protection, but we see a lot of heroes like this with a 1-2-3 stat line. And it really kind of encourages you to be defending because 3 defense is pretty good. And then you usually have ways in your kit to make that higher, which means you unlock the perfect block deck, the perfect defense deck archetype, which is like a very, very true and tested protection way to play the game. Now, 2 attack is not bad, and 1 thwart is usually the problem when it comes to solo play, because we are the only person who can do any thwarting, and if it's 1 thwart, you have some issues. And especially when it comes to protection, which is not very thwart heavy, you have to make some deck building decisions, usually around allies, but also some protection cards to make sure you're thwarting enough. So just keep that in mind. Our basic activation actually is really important, and you'll see why in a second. But yeah, 1-2-3 means we are going to be defending a heck of a lot. Now, she has this ability. Let's talk with the action at the bottom. It says, choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top card of your deck. That on its own, even like with no context, is a really good ability because it functionally just means get a better hand. If the card in your hand is not useful, it's not playable, you can just swap it for the top of the deck. And mind you, you have to decide what card you're swapping before you draw the top card of the deck. But that just basically changes the card in your hand. And on its own, not a bad ability. So keep that in mind as much as we really do care about what's on top of the deck. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Good morning. Eager to see what you do with Domino. I think the entire Wave 7 Next Evolution heroes are incredibly strong heroes. Yeah, I like very much noticed. I remember at that time being like, whoa, these heroes are cracked. Like they were just very, very, very solid. Their kits got more complicated and a bit more interesting. But yeah, from about Next Evolution to Age of Apocalypse and arguably further, the heroes seem to have just like jumped up in terms of both complexity, power, and technically interest for me, which is good too. Now she has this passive ability. Technically, you don't trigger this ability, which that actual sentence will come up later. But it says whenever you're counting resources on cards, which is something some of your cards will tell you to do, any wild icon counts twice. So if you have a card that says discard the top card of your deck, the amount of resources on it gives you plus X, that'll technically give you plus 2, which is really quite nice. And our deck actually has so many wild resources. She is the most wild deck. Like you see the bottom left corner, all of her player cards are wild, besides one that isn't, but it's a good in a different way. And that actually is a really nice thing for deck building because any of the cards that have requirements are really easy for us to play. And we actually have, I think, 5 cards in our deck that have requirements. And notably, when you play a card with a requirement, it doesn't require a printed resource of that type. So when you pay a wild, you can choose what it is, which is nice. Now, Nina on the other side. Oh, 1 second. She has action. It's the same text. However, this is a different ability. It says choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top of your discard pile. So, whoa. Of your discard pile. Wait a second. Andre in real time realizes that he's been playing this text wrong all week. Choose a card in your hand. Swap that card to the top card of your discard pile. I thought it was your deck. I thought these were the same ability, both of them, but it's not. That actually challenges directly what I've been building today. I thought these were the same ability, but it's the top card of your discard pile. I saw top card and I just went on autopilot. Technically, your discard pile has to be ordered in Marvel Champions, which is a rule that I find pretty frustrating. But the order of your discard pile matters. So if you're searching through your discard pile, you have to return it in the order that you've actually got it. As much as technically, like you can't shuffle your discard pile. Oh, okay. So we'll have to keep that in mind. That actually does immediately put me on the back foot with what we're doing here. I've no doubt what we're doing is still functional and good, but that's a pretty good ability. And this allows you to like spend an expensive resource and then just bring it back immediately, right? When you pitch for cards, very importantly, you choose the order that multiple cards, when pitched together, enter your discard pile. So if I pitch a single and a double, those go into my discard pile with my double on my top, and then I can get the double back. Which means if you have a double in your hand, you functionally have an 8 resource hand, which is really good. But yeah, I definitely have been playing that wrong this week in practice up to today. So glad that we could get that early to make sure we don't mess this up even further. But that's really cool. Hey Christian, how's it going? Interesting to see Domino. Tried her a few times and never got the feeling for her. Man, yeah, I've heard that comment not inconsistently. A lot of people don't care for Domino so much, which to me is so wild because she's one of the most interesting kits in the whole game. Hopefully, at the end of this video, we'll be able to like kind of like make that make more sense. At least we'll hope. Hey, Michael, cool alter ego ability. Not sure I ever read it correctly either. Yeah, I assumed they were both the same. And I was like, why are they different? Are they the same text? Can you use them only once? But regardless, that's good text. We'll have to make sure that we change our play style a bit around that. Now, this is card 15 in her kit. And I think it's one of my favorite cards in her kit because it's like very, very generous. So I'm not an expert on Domino when it comes to the canon, but from my understanding, just kind of like Indiana Jones, her superpower is that she always gets lucky. So no matter what she does, she largely gets the best outcome, which trying to make that make sense in a card game is so cool how the folks from Fantasy Flight Games made this work. Because you can make your own luck. That's a really big thing here with our hero ability is a lot of our cards require us to discard a card from our deck, and then based off the icons on it, we get a better benefit. And so discarding wild icons is really good. And she just has the ability to set up her own luck, which is just like really, really, really fun. And so you have this control, you have a lot of agency of your game plan. And of course, you can just on some terms also just get lucky, and it feels really, really good. Now, this is my favorite upgrade. It's a superpower. It says when you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. It's not a forced interrupt, so you can choose to do this. And you get +1 to that power for the use for each resource icon discarded this way. I think this is her most important card in the kit, and it is so generous for a bunch of reasons. Firstly, it's not hero traded, which means you can actually recover, which is a basic power, and recover for usually around 5, which is funny how she can luckily recover sometimes. But then if you look at her stats, right? This card doesn't exhaust, which means that when you're defending, you can defend easily at 5 at a minimum, almost always 5. It means you're thwarting it consistently at 3 and you're attacking at 4. She has one of the best basic stats out of any character in the game, as long as you can get your probability field down. And that's not that hard. Like you can play upgrades or side schemes to go get this upgrade consistently. We're hoping just to draw into it for better for worse. We also have a lot of like consistency where we can get cards back that we've discarded, but probability field does not exhaust itself. And it's just such good text. It also means readying ourselves is a lot better because functionally we have 4 attack and 3 thwart, which anytime your stats are good, readying yourself is good. And on top of that, just discarding cards from the top of your deck is a really good thing we should be doing anyways. And that's because we have this whole package of cards that came alongside Domino, which if you played the Lord of the Rings LCG, the sort of like dwarfs kind of archetype where like discarding from the top of your deck was actually upside is exactly what we have here. So one of the most flavorful, most fun cards in the entire game, Jackpot. It has 3 resources icons on it, and it says response, and it's not forced. After this card is discarded from the top of the deck, shuffle it back into your deck. This is just so much fun, especially when your deck is only like 3 or 4 cards left and one of them is a jackpot. We have on camera before jackpotted 3 times in the same turn because you can just shuffle it back and keep going. Notably, you can shuffle it back into a deck of 1 card, but you can shuffle it back into a deck of no cards because as soon as your deck is empty, you'd have to shuffle your discard pile. But jackpot is just very good, and our deck has a lot of control of how we use jackpot. And this is one of the cool things we can do, where you can play jackpot, use your alter ego ability to put it back into your hand, and then just play it twice again. So jackpot's a really nice reason. And it actually means that we can have, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack or 4 thwart or 6 defend when that shows up. Now, this is the big one. And these are basic cards. A lot of decks play these, and a lot of the decks that play Digging Deep are some of my favorite decks just because it's such an exciting card. You have 3 of them. They generate a wild resource, which is something our deck likes. And it says after this card is discarded from the top of your deck, add it to your hand. This is so absurdly good. The fact that we can attack or defend at 5 or 4 and gain a card, gain a resource is so good. And knowing how many of these are left in your deck means you want to always be ripping from the top of your deck. Because when you rip from the top of the deck and you go up a resource, it's incredible. So absurdly good. And then the big thing you can do with your hero abilities, if you have one of these in your hand, you just swap it to the top of your deck and then do an ability that allows you to trash the top of your deck. And oh my God, you just went up a card, let alone has a wild on it, which counts really well with your abilities. We also have White Fox, who's a given, and she's arguably better. After White Fox is discarded from the top of your deck, you put her into play. Getting an ally for free for just ripping something off the top of your deck is so absurd. Shout out to, again, to the dwarfs in Lord of the Rings LCG. But she's one of the better payoffs for sure. Notably, also, she has the Posse trait, which is something our deck really cares about. Posse is a subtype that shows up on mostly Domino cards plus 2 basic cards, and we actually have this like pseudo soft team up for Posse cards. Lastly, for the discard package, and this doesn't show up in every Domino deck, but I would highly recommend our dumpster dog here, Lockjaw, who I would say is functionally a discard synergy, because Lockjaw is one of those cards that actually works from the discard bin. So getting a Lockjaw into the discard bin on any given turn allows you to play Lockjaw that turn and on future turns, which is not exactly the same as gaining a resource, but it's kind of like gaining a resource. This is the thing about Lockjaw. Like, I never loved Lockjaw because he was 4 cost, and 4 cost seems really expensive. But the fact that Lockjaw is 4 cost, but doesn't count as a card from your hand the turn that you play Lockjaw, Lockjaw is functionally 3 cost, right? Because a lot of times when you're playing a 4 cost ally from your hand, you're playing 5 cards, but Lockjaw is 4 cards and that's it. So that's exactly what you expect from a 3 cost ally, but much more flexible. This is the package of discard from the top of your deck synergy cards. And of course, we're playing all of them because Domino is one of the decks that definitely discards everything from the top of her deck. Shout out to Bishop, who I think is the other one who would play most of these cards as well. But yeah, just the most fun. Let me catch up on chat. Hey, Snake, how's it going? Are we rolling the dice on this one today? But I finally can at least say hello before I head out to work here. But I'll sure to catch the VOD later. Been so busy. Sorry, I haven't been around. No reason to apologize. It's like hard to tune into things live in the modern day. Hopefully your work's been okay on Sundays. Domino's always fun, but she took me a minute to understand how she works. She has like a couple, I would say, like play patterns that maybe they're not super intuitive, but once you like grok them, I think you have so much agency and control. The same way, like you probably know from this channel, if you've been watching for a while, that I really like Magic, because Magic is another one of those heroes that gives you so much agency and control that makes sure that you can make any hand into a better hand, and you have so many more levers to pull to make the best right turn. And I just like that so much. Jackpot's such a great card. It's such a fun card too. Like genuinely one of the most fun cards in Marvel Champions is trying to hunt for the jackpot. And then the turns where it really matters or you really need to get the jackpot to be like impactful, they're just fun turns. Now, Domino's Pistol. Easily one of the best cards in the deck. And like, I think I wouldn't say complain so much, but like when it comes to what's his name, Venom has cards like this on the table that just output consistent output every turn. Like every turn Venom's rifle does like 2 damage or 3 damage or 2 thwart, whatever it is. Now the big difference there is Venom's rifle is modal. So like when you play solo, some turns you need thwart, sometimes you need damage. I'm pretty sure that's what Venom's rifle does. And so like just having the right thing on the table that you put it down and then every turn is doing something, it's really good for you. What's it called? It's not called Venom's rifle. I forget what it's called. Maybe someone in chat knows. Domino's Pistol is absurd because once you have this on the table, every turn you're just doing 2 damage. That's it. Every turn, pick a target, attack. It has a ranged. It does 2 damage. Because discarding the top card of your deck on average usually does 2 damage, let alone you can make it do 2 damage by putting a card on top of your deck. Having 2 of these down just means every turn, especially because if you're a defense-oriented deck, you're usually not attacking for that much. You're just putting out 4 damage every turn. And then this gets even stronger with Sharpshooter, which the timing of this one I've never really understood perfectly. I think I have it now. It says when you make a ranged attack, you can discard the top card of your deck, which means that if you have all these on the table, on some turns, you're just doing, what is it? 8 damage for free. 8 damage. Sometimes you're gaining cards and allies for free. Like, it is just an absurd value proposition. These, I have played games where I haven't rushed them down because this deck doesn't need to rush them down. And then I've played games where I've got both of these down on turn 1, like 2 pistols. And like, you just melt the villain because every turn you're doing somewhere between, usually between 3 and worst case or best case 8 damage without spending any extra resources. And then sometimes you're going up cards in hand. It's nonsense. These pistols are so good. And Sharpshooter is just a really fun card to play too, because you don't know what's going to happen to some extent because you're discarding multiple cards, and then you'll find out what happens. You have to plan around it. So she has a lot of cards like this. A good workout. Right place, right time. This is our big thwarting card. This is our big damage card. I feel like I play a good workout way less than I play right place, right time. And that's because our guns already do a lot of damage for us. And all these cards do the same thing. They're 2 for 4s or 2 for 3, which is not the worst rates on a 2 for 4 attack, I guess. But then you discard the top of your deck and you do 1 additional damage for each resource. So if you discard a wild, which you're really good at doing, this is a 2 for 6, which is on right. That's kind of what you expect. You pay 3 for 6 damage. Now, right place, right time is the same thing, except it's for a threat. And so this ends up being 2 for 5, which isn't amazing, but in a deck that has not a lot of thwarting, we definitely like this. And again, our deck has a lot of recursion, so we can bring this back. Notably, these are superpowers, and we have a couple superpower upgrades, but I'm not playing Deft Focus in this deck. Doesn't feel like you have enough reasons to play it, let alone our resources are actually pretty good in this deck, because a lot of times we discard and we go up hand size, which is kind of similar to having more resources in your deck. Now, Luck Be a Lady, not my favorite card. It discards the top card of your deck for 1, and then based off the icons, you can choose one of these options. And if you have a wild, you can choose any of the above. Now, for each resource counted this way, I totally forget that if you count a wild, it counts as twice, so you can choose 2 options. I think I messed that up this week when practicing for this deck, so this card's a lot better than I think it is. But the best case scenario is you discard a Jackpot, which you could do all 3 because it has all 3 resources. It's pretty good. Lucky Break. I don't often like cards like these. I'm learning to like them more. It's a 0 cost superpower, so the floor is really low and it's an upgrade. And it just says when you reveal an encounter card, discard this, discard the encounter card and draw a different encounter card. So you're making your own luck. This is really nice for dodging things like Shadows of the Past or a big attack that will ruin you or the worst encounter card. And that's mostly it. It doesn't really interact with your kit in any other meaningful way. It's just, that's what it does. It just says, no, I don't want this encounter card, move on. And we've seen some basic cards, some spy traded cards that do something like that, but that's not a bad effect. Obviously, the card you could draw next could in theory be worse than the card that you're drawing first, but usually you should have some good understanding of how that works. Now, this is the card that's more interesting because this card doesn't discard itself. That being said, we really don't care about boost icons that often because we're blocking very heavily. But it just says, and notably, it's an upgrade that's defense traded. So if you use it, you're technically considered a defender if you want to build around that axis, which maybe you can. It allows you to play like electrostatic armor, I guess. But the thing is, like, we have really good defense stats, so I'm always going to be blocking anyways. So I don't know actually how to make use of that. But Lucky and Good just basically says when you see a boost card, exhaust this, not discard it, exhaust this, cancel the boost card and give yourself a different boost card, which is like okay text. And you will use this sometimes, but it's not my priority to rush out. All right, my nose is running a bit. I think I'm going to be able to get through this before it becomes a disaster. All right, and now this is the part of the kit that I think is just fascinating. And admittedly, I was doing it a bit wrong because I misread my alter ego text. That happens. But you have these 3 cards that give you so much control about alter ego. Firstly, you have Pip. And Pip is a creature that says you can exhaust Pip in an alter ego to put a Domino or Posse card from your discard pile on top of your deck. That is so good. It is such a good support card because not only do you have a 3 resource icon, a Domino card, our Posse cards are really good. We talked about White Fox, which is a Posse card you almost always want on top of your deck to discard it. But this basically functionally says, if you're an alter ego and you jump back, pick your favorite card and add it to your hand, with a couple more steps involved, right? Because you put the Domino card on top of your deck, you flip up the hero mode, you swap your top of your deck with your hand, and you just got your best card. You're very good at toolboxing, you're very good at recurring, and Pip the Pug is a really, really good reason to jump down to alter ego as much as possible. Next up is the Painted Lady, which I was always confused how this worked. Obviously, reading it kind of explains the card. But it says after you discard a card from the top of your deck, you can attach that card face down here. I'll do it face up for the sake of the stream. And it can have a maximum of 3 cards. Hey, Don Claymore, how's it going? Now, notably, that response is not alter ego, so you can do this in hero mode. And that's really important. Because whenever you rip an important card off the top of your deck, you just put it on the boat. And then when you jump down to alter ego, you can just grab it. So it gives you +1 resource on any turn that you jump down, let alone it means any of your most important key cards that you discard them, they're not lost. And I wouldn't even say lost is the right word you want to be saying, because with things like Pip the Pug, or let alone your alter ego ability, no cards are ever lost. If you want to get them back and they're Domino or Posse cards, you can always get them back. But the Painted Lady is just really nice and allows you to play more toolboxy, which is something you might know that I appreciate. So do you need a good defense event? Is there a certain upgrade that's really good against this encounter set? Do you really need your big thwarting card? Do you need an ally? They all show up on the Painted Lady, and she can hold up to 3 cards, and then when you're on alter ego, you exhaust the stat a card back. So for every time you jump down, you go up +2 cards. Let alone, Weapon X is like the best card in this deck. Admittedly, because I misunderstood the alter ego, Weapon X gave us a lot more like obvious utility, but we are a mutant, so we can play as an alter ego. We can exhaust this and take a damage, which that's fine. And then we just keep ripping cards from the top of our deck until we discard an identity-specific card. Which means, of course, all the other cards that we discard that have synergy, like, Digging Deeps, White Fox, Lockjaw, they all will end up in our hand. Anything else will end up on the Painted Lady, and it's functioning like the Weapon X draws 2 cards for a single damage, which is just so good. This is a big reason why jumping down to alter ego is fantastic. Shout out to, of course, every deck on this channel, which seems to be a 3x ready for a fight deck. You do play these consistently enough because jumping down is really that good. Of course, the requirement is not something we sweat because our deck is mostly wild icons, so getting a physical is not that hard. But we just have so much value and so much consistency in jumping down to alter ego that like protection is one of the easiest ways to capitalize on it. Now, the other thing we're doing in our deck is the Posse trade. And while we've already looked at White Fox, the other cool thing that this deck can do is play Posse. And so Domino is a Posse. She's Posse traded, which is nice. And then we have all these cards that are already in our deck. So Diamondback, she's a really cool card. And today we plan to play some some Ultron. And anything with a lot of minions, this is just a really good text. So you exhaust her and deal 1 damage to her. Then you discard the top card of your deck, which you should know if it's a wild, heaven forbid a jackpot. And then you get to deal 1 damage to every enemy for each resource discarded this way. So she becomes like this 2 AoE consistently. She only has 2 health though, as much as the second time that you fire this, it will still do the effect as much as it will defeat her, from my understanding, because it causes the trigger to fire and then she dies. But yeah, a 2 AoE or a 3 AoE if you can set up the jackpot is just really nice. And there's certain scenarios where this is just stellar. I did play some test games against Green Goblin, which has a lot of 3 to 5 health small minions, and it's just like a ton of fun. And against Ultron, it's just really quite nice. Next, we have an Outlaw who can attack really heavily. First, she comes in with toughness, which is nice. You usually want to block with her as much as we're pretty good at blocking. But when she attacks, you discard the top card of your deck, and she gets +1 for each icon. So she's usually attacking for 3, which is pretty good for a 3 health toughness ally. That's for sure. Of course, she's Posse traded. Finally, we have Atlas Bear, who I'll be honest is like not the best card. She's never a priority to get down. Sometimes she shows up. She allows us to look at the top card of the deck and we can just add it to our hand if she takes a damage. It also allows us to know the next card for discard purposes, but that's almost never worth it. But at the end of the day, the reason why we're playing all the Posse cards, and we technically have 5 in our deck, is the Posse is a really good card. This is not a team up. I thought it was, but it says play only if you have 3 characters of the Posse trade. Heal 1 damage from each Posse character and ready them. That's very good because we're also Posse and our basic activation is really good with probability field. And so this just means that like Diamondback can go again, Outlaw can go again, and any card that discards cards from the top of your deck has the chance of pushing you forward, let alone is just good on its own. Notably with Pip the Pug, you can get the what's it called, the Posse back in alter ego, and notably the Posse is not a hero action, which is kind of neat. The only issue with this is that you only can play this if you have 3 Posse characters in play, and when Domino is an alter ego, Nina is not Posse, which is the reason why we want to play more allies, just in case you can do this in alter ego. And you actually can consistently set it up where you can even play the Posse twice in a single turn, which is kind of wild. It won't wake you up and allow you to recover because you're not Posse traded, but it's like totally doable and something the recursion loop can actually do, especially if this ends up on the boat. Damn, I'm like, Lucy, how's it going? How's your Sunday? Plus White Fox, yeah, White Fox, hopefully I've already shouted that out, but White Fox is the last Posse card we have, and she shows up super consistently because she shows up for free. So we actually have like 5 Posse characters, which is very good. Now, Med Team is another card I play. I don't play a lot of this. I know this card's actually really good. The reason we play this is just to keep our characters healthy, our allies healthy, because our deck is better when we have more Posse characters. And notably, Diamondback is the one that we want to heal a lot because she only has 2 health to do her thing. Now, in earlier versions of this deck, I played a couple other healing cards that are worth trying. The Honorary X-Force card is actually not the worst on Diamondback because it gives her +1 health, which is kind of all you really need. But the other card I tried, and I ended up cutting it from the deck, and I'm not going to know the name of the card. Maybe you do. Hey, Layla, how's it going? Good morning. There is a 4-cost card you can only play. It's an ally if you're protection, if you're a champion, that when that character attacks or exhausts, or sorry, attacks or thwarts, you can heal 1 from another ally. I forget their name. It's like a protection sort of name, like a peaceful kind of name from my memory. But that 4-cost ally was like, okay. Our ally slots are a bit crowded because we always want to keep like 2.5 Posse allies. But there was another card I used for healing. And med team just seems like the easiest. I used to be on 2 med team. I'm now on 1. But yeah, just a bit of healing is nice with this deck. And 3-cost cards are things that we can swallow because we do have a lot more resources than we think we do. I finally made it through the first 5 Anarch cards of implementing elevation. Every single one of them took hours to implement, but the rest of the set is easy by comparison. Yo, hopefully that's going okay. Woof. Hey, Michael, happy Sunday from DC. Really excited to see you play this as you've been explaining the cards. I have her, but never played her yet. Oh, Michael, you're in for a treat. She's so fun. And she's like so interesting too, which is great. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know if you don't or you do later and when you get to her. She's great. Defensive conditioning, just a good card. Again, we are playing perfect block, so defensive conditioning +3 health is fine. We only have 9 health, mind you, but +1 defense is good. We are blocking without taking damage. So of course we play Unflappable. We're playing the X-Men art. We have 1 copy of Hard to Ignore. It's kind of a slots issue. And I'll be honest, there's the last like 2 or 3 slots in this deck that I've been fighting with a fair bit. This is V7 of the deck, according to Marvel CDB. Hard to Ignore is good enough as a 1-of, as much as you can play multiple copies of it, but it just gives us a little bit of thwarting when we're defending, which is something we want to do anyways. We're playing 3 copies of Not Today. This card's good. The thing is, like, we don't always need the plus defense, but it guarantees Unflappable and it removes 2 thwart when we defend, which is quite nice. Elixir, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, I had Elixir in one version of this deck, which is only if you're an X-Force. I think I might have said champion at some point. And after Elixir attacks or thwarts, heal 1 damage from another friendly character. I mean, this is not terrible because it allows you to heal your what's her name, your Diamond back and let her go infinite. It's a bit expensive, but the problem was the ally slots was actually the biggest constraint, not so much Elixir. And if you're comparing Elixir to Med Team, like Med Team is just a bit easier to play. Okay, the card that I've added recently that I've been impressed with is What Doesn't Kill Me. And as we've said before, well, there's 2 things that work well with us. Firstly, we have so many wild cards in our deck that hitting the requirement is trivial, like straight trivial, never an issue. And healing 2 damage from us is nice, as much as we don't take a lot of damage besides off of the what's it called, Weapon X, because usually we're blocking pretty well. But readying yourself is really good because, again, with the probability field, we're attacking or thwarting for 4 or 3. So a ready actually goes really, really hard. Lastly, we have Nick Fury, which in this deck, it's fine. It's like not better here than any other deck, but it's good enough. And some turns we just have extra resources. So it's nice to have a good sync as much as, you know, you can block with Nick Fury. And then we have Energy, Genius, and Strength. I think I've played about 7 or 8 games with this deck this week, and it's always been tuned to feel a bit better every time after. Again, I haven't missed playing the Alter Ego ability. I'm not going to pretend I haven't. But like so far, it's just been like one of the most fun hero kits I've played in a long time, just because you have that sort of consistency. You have engine pieces, you have value pieces, you make tempo plays, you take risks. It's like everything I want in a card game and more. And you have so much agency the same way that you do when you have Magic, where you can control the top card of your deck. And that just helps you so much. Your setups are relatively smooth. But like I said earlier today, I think the biggest thing that I'm going to run into, and hopefully if you're watching this or watching the VOD, there's going to be turns where I jump down to Alter Ego, and the sort of like ordering where you do like Weapon X or Pip first, or, you know, grab a card back from the Painted Lady. There is so many different angles you can do, and some of them are just going to be better than others, and we have to do our best to make sure we find the best ones. So it's going to be hard. Shout out to Shred for being a full 10 hours of implementation work and Blink for being 5. Jesus. Lastly, we have Nick Fury. Yes, this is fact of Marvel Champions deck. You put Rashid in your Corp deck with wild deck building. I mean, I thought about that too. It's like Nick Fury shows up everywhere. And like, I don't mind it so much because Nick Fury actually allows you to make better decisions, is more fun. Drawing more cards helps a heck of a lot. It's like a card that its ubiquity is like, people don't complain that Energy, Genius, and Strength are ubiquitous. I don't think people actually complain that Nick Fury is ubiquitous, but like, that ubiquity allows you to play better game and allows some turns to be more interesting turns. I think the decks that like play Nick Fury every other turn or every turn with recursion, yeah, that would probably be a bit annoying for me. But yeah, Nick Fury just allows your deck to be better at being a deck, and I like it. Just a fun card, genuinely a fun card, as much as the modality on it doesn't usually translate. Lucy, isn't that a problem for the future? Like, if every set, every card takes on average 7 hours, is that not rough? He's a bit luminally for me in terms of random power spike that changes the game a lot based on how early he shows up. The thing is, like, when I look at Nick, I don't often look at Nick as like a tempo card that allows you to set up. right? Like, it's not like if I get Nick on turn 1, am I golden? I do actually think there's later turns where Nick is better, right? Most cards take like 10 minutes. Jesus. That's a bit of a variance on that one, huh? All right, so today I wanted to play against Ultron. So far I've tested this deck against, and I actually really enjoyed Brotherhood of Badoon. I haven't played that in a while. I played this against Drang, Claw, Unis, Green Goblin. I think that's all I've tested against. So today, to keep it simple, for our first game where we focus on showing off the deck, we're going to be playing against Morlock Siege, which is relatively easy, let's be honest. But it is also in the box that Domino's in. So if you haven't played Domino, we'll show you in grounds that Domino can play against. And then after, we'll play against Ultron, which is a harder scenario by far, Expert Ultron. That being said, like, we have some interaction points that are favorable. Like, the pistols are a really nice way to take out drones, regardless of how much health they have. And Diamondback is really good at flushing robots off the table. So that's also like a really good spot to be in. Have you thought about doing some sort of premium channel feature like a Patreon? Web Warrior Fanatic does it, and it's something I'd definitely join. Firstly, Layla, thank you so much for offering support. I have. So for context, I'm on Patreon for the other channel I run called the Metropole Grid. And I'll be honest, I don't feel like I'd make enough. I do enough for that channel for how generous people are supporting the channel. It's been harder. I used to do content full time about a year ago, and then I've returned to full time, like, traditional work since like July last year. And so my time to spend doing content has lowered. I'm at the point where I'm probably a bit overextended already. I have ideas and, good intentions when it comes to not only Netrunner, but Marvel Champions content, but I just don't have time to do more. So anytime that I like try and associate finances with it, like, people paying to support the channel, it gives me this sort of stress to feel like I owe people something because they're paying for a product. And if I don't deliver the product, I am, stealing to some extent. So it's like something that it's in my best interest by a mile to make this sort of stuff more sustainable. So like this is an easier thing to do, let alone like if people want to say thank you to the channel and they value this sort of content, like there's some pros to that for sure. But it's tricky. It's hard. I don't know what I would do because like I don't know if I have time to offer more content to be like, oh, if you subscribe, I will be able to put out an extra video just for you or something like that. Like I just don't have the time right now to do it. In fact, like I don't even have the time to put out a video a week. It's usually just like streams, which like I have a great time doing these, that's for sure. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Maybe we just do YouTube memberships and it's like a nice way to say thank you. But I don't know what to do about it. It's something that like gives me a lot of pause for sure. You make way too much content for a person who works full time across all channels. Yeah, and like it's gonna like crash at some point. Like it's not super sustainable. But I really appreciate the fact that you were interested in supporting the channel. Like I really do value that, and like making content sustainable on a longer, like, on a bigger scale is like something that's incredibly interesting to me. If I can make content full time and it makes financial sense, I would love to do it. But not everyone's that lucky, right? I think you should probably turn on YouTube memberships here and Metropole. I don't want to do it on a Metropole because people are already like so kind with like Patreon and stuff like that, Lucy. That like saying that like I have another way that you can support me. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels really strange to me to be like, oh, you're supporting me on Metropole, but you're not supporting me on YouTube membership. And then like, I don't know. I don't know enough about YouTube memberships for what it's worth to know what it offers and what the expectations are. But it feels strange to be monetized and heavily in two different ways when I'm already just like so thankful. Does that make sense, Layla? If you have any feedback, please let me know. People have been really nice, like just dropping super likes in YouTube chat. Like people seem to be very, very interested in supporting the channel, which like, that's awesome. It really means a lot to me for sure. All right, let's talk about this villain setup. This is the first scenario that comes in this box in Next Evolution, and it's called Morlock Siege. It's sort of a two-part scenario. I think the first part is actually like relatively soft, especially the first stage in the first part. It's very much like can easily be your first Marvel Champions game. The second stage is a bit harder. We're playing on Expert, which does actually knock it up a fair bit, which I actually do appreciate. But the second part of this, which is on the run, that actually is, I think, a fair bit harder than a second scenario in most boxes are. But the first scenario is like relatively straightforward. So at least we'll be able to focus on our deck and our clean play as opposed to anything else. All right, so knock knock. This is where we're playing. So Marauders on side B for Expert. So for those who don't know, there's like 9 of these, 7 of Marauders. We're going to be shuffling them up without looking, and they will become our villain deck. We need to defeat 3 of them in a row. So the order of this, we'll find out together. We're going to look at the camera. Excuse me. We are playing stock standard. So we have the Marauder Morlock Siege set, which is mostly treacheries inside schemes. There's no minions because the minions come from the Mutant Slayers set. Military grade is mostly attachments. They're kind of sleepy. They're not that bad. They're really not that bad. And then Mutant Slayers is the interesting one, which has 7 minions. They're 4 or 5 health with usually, I think they all have keywords like toughness, retaliate, steady, patrol, stuff like that. Maybe not steady. So we put the routed environment into play. We'll talk about that in a second. It's basically our win condition. We have to defeat 3 villains. Every time that we defeat a villain, it gets tucked underneath there, and then it gets retaliate X, where X is the amount of villains we've defeated. Notably, a bunch of the encounter cards also scale amount the enemies based off the enemies underneath routed, which is just really cool difficulty, which not a lot of scenarios do well, where the game gets harder the later you go, which usually, for better or for worse, I would say actually usually for worse. In Marvel Champions, it's the opposite. The game gets easier the longer you play. This one actually tries to keep up with you, which is good. We're going to put hide the treachery aside along with 4 Morlock allies. They'll be coming up in a couple turns. We shuffle the villains together without looking. 1 cut. All right, Blockbuster. This top card of the deck is in play. So our villain is Blockbuster here. Villain named Blockbuster. I don't know if this will work. Villain starts on stage B. Nah, that didn't work. Villain set 14. That's mostly it. Let's just flip this over. I put them in opaque sleeves. I hate shuffling double-sided cards. Yeah, I don't really use the A side, so I could see it, but like I don't use any opaque cards when it comes to Marvel Champions. I don't mind just like staring up at the ceiling for a minute. I get it. All right, so this is the first main scheme. Technically, if this one advances, it's better if it advances naturally or not naturally, excuse me, if you can just wait it out, because this one will go away in 3 turns, whether you like it or not. And generally, you're fine with it. So it comes in with 1 threat, has a small limit of 6 for solo. We haven't seen that in a while. It says after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, so that's where you put the 1 threat here per player, you place a knock counter here, and then if there are at least 3 knock counters here, you immediately advance to stage 2A. You also win if there's 3 villains underneath routed, which I don't think it's super possible unless you play super aggression by doing that before this hits 6 threat or 3 turns. Cool. We want this to advance through the knock counter, so we just have to survive 3 turns without letting this advance. Because when this advances, it's better if it advances naturally with the knock counters than actually like threatening out. I guess we'll just look at this really quick. We'll look at routed, expert routed. Again, I think I've said what the text is on this one, but every time the villain's defeated, it's placed underneath here. After a villain's defeated, put it underneath here. Then if there's any minions in play with the same title, so we have no, 2 of the same people in play rules, you discard them. But the thing is, the villain next will activate against you. So when you defeat the villain, whatever the secret next villain behind the Blockbuster is will immediately activate against you. That's a bit scary. You need to play around that. And notably, we can go up to retaliate 2 functionally, because once we hit retaliate 3, the game is over. Our villain here is Blockbuster. We have 14 health, 1 scheme 3 attack. Blockbuster is one that you have to play around. It says when Blockbuster attacks you or an ally you control, either choose to give Blockbuster a tough status card, or he gets 5 attack overkill. 5 attack overkill is pretty rough. Obviously, that's pretty bad because you can't jump block into it. And notably, you can choose to give Blockbuster a tough status card if he already has a tough status card. So you're forced to pick the other side. This shouldn't be that bad for us because if we have the pistols, we can always just ping off a toughness every turn and then just make sure that he's only attacking for 3 with toughness every turn, and he just becomes a bit tankier. So it's not the worst. There's a huge amount of variance with these villains. And technically, if you play this as a 2-part scenario, the villains you defeat in scenario 1 cannot be the villain you see in scenario 2. So at least we know Blockbuster won't be the mega villain if we play scenario 2, which is good. Oh, I dropped something. I just value the content so much. Basically, only at Marvel Champions I enjoy. The fact that you do it essentially free is very kind. I joined a channel membership without incentives. Thank you, Layla. That's very kind. Just to be clear, we do make a bit of money off of YouTube ads. I got some comments, and please let me know about this too, that last week, or basically every week, if I put ads on the YouTube video, which I do after it's live, YouTube monetizes it and I make a cut. On average right now, the channel makes like 130, 140 Canadian dollars a month off of YouTube ads, which is nice. The problem is like if I put ads on it and I say mid-roll ads, so those are the ads that play during the video at times that YouTube algorithm thinks is reasonable. I can't control how often those ads play, and I got feedback that those ads were playing like every 8 minutes. I don't often see that because when I watch YouTube, I have YouTube Premium, which not only do viewers get or content creators get a better cut if you're on YouTube Premium, but you just don't see ads. And so I never got to experience how bad the channel was. If you're watching this content and serving you an ad every like 4 to 8 minutes, please let me know because that does suck and I will consistently disable mid-roll ads. But yeah, I can't control how often the ads play. I can only turn them on or off. So, hey Jai, how's it going? Last minute cramming for my final tomorrow. Have a good stream. Yo, good luck tomorrow, man. Hopefully things are good. How does YouTube viewers stack up versus ads for you? I assume YouTube Premium viewers are more. No, classically not at all. I've only looked at this data recently when it came to Metroball Grid. But when I was looking at the Metroball Grid data, it was like maybe YouTube Premium viewers, and this was a year ago before YouTube Premium was, I think it's more popular now than it was back then. YouTube Premium viewers accounted for about like 20% of my viewership. But in terms of like ad revenue, it was 50% of the ad revenue. And that just highlights how much of a better cut content creators make when you are on YouTube Premium, because they don't serve you ads, but they just take a percentage of your YouTube Premium and put it into the people that you watch. And it's a much bigger percentage or bigger payout than actually watching the ads natively. So just keep that in mind. I once played this with Adam and its Cosmic Ward channels the hide. Oh, you canceled the hide because Cosmic Ward is forced. Yeah, that's something I learned last time I played on the channel with, is Cosmic Ward? Yeah, is that this was a forced interrupt and it has to fire. I didn't realize that, and canceling hide is really funny. Hide will show up. It's one of very rare good encounter cards. All right. Let's get just a drink, make sure we take care of our voice, and we'll go from there. Layla, I really appreciate the kind words. All right, so our alter ego ability, who knows what it is? I apparently don't, but we can grab a card from our discard pile and put it into our hand. It has to be the top card, so we're in control of that. Premium is worth it for me. I watch a lot of YouTube content. Hey, Tony Wonder, how's it going? For me too, and I split it with my family, so like I technically pay for all of it, but it covers my partner, my sister, and they appreciate it too. I watch a lot of YouTube, for better for worse. It might be obvious, and not having ads is like worth a lot of money to me. I really don't like ads. I'm glad I am premium after you explained that. Always happy to support. Thank you, Michael. It's like a really big deal. I can show the numbers maybe at some point later, but like the amount that content creators get from YouTube Premium is like, it's massive compared to normal ad watch. All right, right place, right time. We don't need this. There's one threat on the table, so we're definitely not going to keep that. Ready for a fight is not something we really need to rush down, because we're going to be standing up this round in hero mode, and probably the next turn we probably will continue to stand up. The weird thing about knock knock is that like you can just jump down to alter ego on the third turn, because on the third turn this will hit its third knock counter and just advance immediately, so it will clear all the threat on it, so you don't have to care about it. So this is not really a card that we have to keep. Luck be a lady. A lot of the text on this is not super important on turn one. Not a lot of damage we have to do, not a lot of threat we have to do. We don't have to heal, so we probably won't keep that. Med team, bit too slow. Everyone's at full health. Not a great mulligan so far. Diamondback is good because she's cheap. 2-cost allies are already really good. There's not a lot of small minions in this scenario to clean up, but like it's a Posse card. We care about that. And speaking of Posse, excuse me, we have Atlas Bear, who like I'm not rushing out Atlas Bear. Now, notably, when we discard cards, we can discard cards in any order when you mulligan, which is really important because our alter ego, he's learning, says we can take the top card and swap it with our hand. So if we had a double here, we actually would have considered discarding the double so we could play it. Actually, no, we wouldn't. We would just keep it and play it twice. But in theory, we want to keep on top of our discard pile the card that we most want to consider taking. For me, it's probably Atlas Bear because none of these other cards are great. Maybe there's a chance it's ready for a fight because it's cheap and easy to play. I'm going to actually say that's the case because Diamondback is already 2 resources and it'll be hard to play a 2 and a 3 resource unless we draw a jackpot. So again, ready for a fight will be on the top of our deck. What doesn't kill me? Okay, we literally cannot play this unless we draw a Weapon X because you have to be able to heal 2 damage from this at the cost. Even Weapon X won't get us there, so that sucks. Unflappable is good, as much as Blockbuster hits like a truck. Outlaw is also good. Domino's Pistol is perfect. We really needed one of these because it's one of our consistent consistent discard engines, and we needed discard cards to be good. And then we have a Strength, which is perfect because we can now double play Strength. Let me just blow my nose really quickly. I'm actually just going to run to go get some like Kleenex or something because I'm a bit of a mess and it'll be worth it in the long run. So I'm not snorking into the microphone. Give me 1 second. All right, now we're ready. Let's go. Hey, Benjamin, on premium, no ads is the biggest thing for me. It's worth a lot of money to me, considering how much great content is on YouTube. It feels cheap compared to some streaming services. Yeah, Like, there's a lot of content on YouTube. Some of it's good, I reckon. But yeah, in terms of like content per dollar, it's a really, really good thing. And I don't like ads. I don't think anyone does. I'm out of breath because I ran. All right, let's use our ability here. So we can double play the strength. So this is really cool. We can choose a card in your hand, swap that card with the top of our deck. Sorry, the top card of your discard pile. So this is what we can do. We can spend the strength for Domino's pistol. So now we're set up to start blasting, which means we can take the toughness off of Blockbuster every turn. That's good. And now we're going to swap the what doesn't kill me for the strength. Check that out. We had a big old 8 resource hand. Oh yeah, you get YouTube Music, which it's not something I've used, but from everyone I know who uses YouTube Music says it's pretty good. But yeah, I'm on my partner's Spotify, but yeah, YouTube Music is apparently pretty good. I don't know what Play Music is. Okay, that's that. Not much else we have to do here in Alter Ego. I guess we're going to play Diamondback and Unflappable. We could play Outlaw, but that means we strand a resource here. This is the cool thing you want to do, though, is before that you actually spend any resources from this point forward, we're just going to jump up to hero mode and we're going to use our Domino's pistol because there's a chance that this gives us a resource in our hand by hitting a Digging Deep. Technically, it could also give us an ally. So we're going to target the only target, which is Blockbuster, and we're going to do 2 damage. And we lost the Domino's pistol, but that's fine. We already have 1. That's all we need. That's a free 2 damage every turn, which is just so absurdly good. I think some people get worked out about discarding cards from your deck. I'll be honest, I don't think it matters that much. And with cards like Pip the Pug and like some of our other recursion stuff, it's like you don't have to be too precious about them. So we will play Diamondback. We're not going to use her until there's actually some way that we get value from our text. Sometimes you want to discard with her just to get the chance of having a Digging Deep or a White Fox. We've seen none so far. And then we'll play Unflappable, which means that we want to be blocking here. Unfortunately, we're only blocking 3 against 3, so Unflappable is probably not great. And it's actually very much worth it in the first attack on Blockbuster to just like take it to the face, because we have a whole bunch of cards, as you saw there, that only work if we have damage on us, so we want to take some damage. This will probably not get to 6 before we advance, so I'm just going to attack for 2 into the villain. Villain's down to 10, we'll pass. 1, good workout. This is the damage one, which it's okay. I don't really need to rush damage. If we have a minion, I guess we'll do it. The Posse is unplayable here. We've actually lost a lot of our Posse cards so far. We only have 2 Posse. There's White Fox, which if we get a White Fox... Oh, we didn't do the thing where we swapped the card with the top of our deck. We forgot to do that. I don't think it actually really mattered that turn, but we forgot to do our Domino thing. Okay, so now it's going to be really important because we actually can do our Posse thing. So we have White Fox in our hand. We can swap her with the top of our deck, and then we can discard her to be able to do the thing and actually play the team up, which is really great. Right place, right time for threat, and then a ready for a fight. So we're in a good spot. All right, knock, knock. So we're going to put 2 threat on here, and we'll put 1 knock counter. I'll put it green because it is a Morlock thing, I guess. And then Blockbuster is going to activate against us. So Blockbuster either attacks for 5 or 3 if we give him a toughness with a pistol. We don't mind the toughness unless he attacks twice, but that'll be a problem regardless. So he's attacking for 3 in a card. We're just going to take it to the face because we still have at least 1 healing card in our deck. And I don't think we mind so much. We're probably not going to perfect block this unless we drew one of our defense events. So we'll just take it 3. 4, gank up. Good to see that go. We wouldn't have perfect blocked anyways. We'll take 4 damage. Encounter card. Oh, that's really quite bad. Oh no. Turn 1. Let's go. I had to do so much research to understand how this works because the text on one of these cards is so confusing and I don't think the rulebook explains it well. Welcome to our Nemesis set turn 1. It's Topaz. Firstly, I just want to shout this out. If you look at the bottom, Domino's Nemesis minion, there's no way that's what that text should look like. That's really, really strange, right? I just want to look at another Nemesis, and I'm struggling to think of any other Nemesises in the game. I guess we'll look at Titania. Yeah, it doesn't have that text. Mr. Sinister, like, why does this have this text? Why does she have this text? In brackets, Domino's Nemesis minion. That doesn't show up. Like, why? I don't get it. Anyways, when revealed, search and counter deck discard pile and set aside area for 1 copy of Superpower Feedback and attach it to your identity. This card is really interesting, and understanding how it works is actually a bit tricky. Well, now we're going to look at Superpower Feedback, I guess. I had to do some deep reading to understand how this works, and I'm still not sure if the internet agrees on everything. So this attaches your identity. It says after you resolve an ability on your identity or an identity-specific card, take 1 damage. What does that mean? For $1? What does that mean? So firstly, we have to go back to Alter Ego to discard an identity-specific card from our hand to discard this. We'll do that. Probably not this turn, the next turn. But it says after you resolve ability on your identity or an identity-specific card, take 1 damage. What is that? What is an identity or identities? What is resolve? I guess is my question, right? So Domino has two text boxes and they're both technically abilities. The action, we can all agree, is probably an ability where we swap a card for a card. We're going to take a damage if we do that. However, that top ability, if we ever discard a card and count it as a double, are we resolving that ability? If you play an event that is one of your kits, are you resolving an ability? I know the answers to these. I just want to let you be awkward with it because I was awkward for it for a bit. Ability equals card text. Yes, you're not wrong yet. You're not wrong. Shout out to the text. This is why I exclusively play Standard 3. Yo, HFT, how's it going? I haven't played Standard 3 in a while, and I honestly don't mind this too much. But yeah, Standard 3 is I probably should be playing Standard 3. I like Standard 3 a heck of a lot. This is great art. I love the art on Nemesis Side's game. It's really good. Not my lucky day. There's Pip. It's a mess. When revealed, either take 1 damage or place 2 threat here. We're just going to take 1. Actually, taking 1 damage here is a bit scary because we're going to have to take a whole bunch more damage on this turn because we're going to need to swap and we're going to have to fire our pistol. So that will put us down a bit too low. We have a right place, right time. So I think I'm just going to put this at 5. I treat the top text on Domino as a static ability and doesn't resolve. It's passive, just pretending these are Netrunner cards. That's correct. So I looked it up and there's an FAQ reference. And while the top text is a constant ability or a passive ability, whatever the term is, you don't ever resolve it. Why? I don't know. Fun fact, the word resolve shows up 0 times in the section of the book that describes abilities. As far as I don't know, abilities don't technically ever resolve because, well, the rule book doesn't say they do. The word resolve shows up like 40 times in the rule book, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, technically doing an action, that action resolves, but doing a passive ability, the passive abilities don't resolve. I don't know if this showed up in like the rules leaflet with Domino. I guess it would be a rules book, but yeah, very, very weird. Very, very strange. But anyways, everything we're going to do now is going to hurt us to some extent, and we have to watch out because we could die on turn 2. This is a rough Nemesis set, especially because it's hard to get rid of superpower feedback. That is a reason why we could have like got the card that allows us to jump down to alter ego, but we didn't. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. It's not what I thought it would be. And for what it's worth, playing an event doesn't seem to be considered resolving an ability. I don't know why though, because this technically is an ability, but I'm not sure. Because I think an ability is on a card, not the text of the card, if you know what I mean. That's kind of tenuous, but. Okay, so we got problems. Topaz is on the table. Her text doesn't really matter. In fact, she doesn't have text. I don't know why she has that Nemesis minion text. That's really weird. Events are play abilities? Yeah, from my understanding, they're not abilities. I don't know why. This card has so much rules baggage associated with it, and it's not very intuitive how they want you to play it. So, 3 health. Diamondback is a really good use this turn. The problem is, if we use this, it's using an ability on one of our cards. But she, in theory, can knock out Topaz and take the toughness off all at once, which is a bit better than just shooting with a pistol. We, in theory, want to put White Fox on top of our deck, which means Diamondback will only do 1 damage, so that's not amazing. But we do want Diamondback because that'll be 1, 2, 3. That's also, yeah, it's not phenomenal. Again, it's after you resolve an ability on your identity or identity-specific card. So, yeah, I don't know why events don't count. What could we do? We could swap. We could use Diamondback. We could use White Fox. We could use ourself. And then we could play the Posse. We actually do have a ready for a fight, and we have a wild on top of our deck, so we actually can jump down safely and do everything we want. In theory, we want to keep one of our cards in our hand, though, to discard superpower feedback, which I think is more important. If this advances, is not the end of the game. In fact, I've never let this advance, so I'm okay to find out what happens when this advances. But I think we will jump down this turn and just be able to deal with Topaz and do some cool stuff here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our hero ability. So we have to take 1 damage, and we're going to swap the top card of our deck, which is a genius. Nice, with the White Fox. Anytime I know the top card of my deck, I'll put it face up, just so that we have that same information. Technically, it shouldn't be face up. Next, we're going to use Diamondback, I guess. Yep, we'll use Diamondback, so we take a damage. Ow. We're going to discard White Fox. So she enters play, because when she's discarded, that's what she does. We now have 3 Posse characters. She comes in with 1 health. And now with Diamondback, we get to do 1 damage to every villain character, every enemy character, which is really nice if you're playing multiplayer. So this takes 1, this takes toughness, this beats guard. It's also not an attack. The X's Nemesis minion is actually relevant and does show up in multiple Nemesis sets as early as Thor. It's only used for Nemesis sets that have extra minions in them, just so there's no ambiguity. Oh, Cheddar, that's cool. Ah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So the idea is that the set actually has another minion in it, who's a pretty bad minion, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's neat. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Diamondback is exhausted. So now we can activate. White Fox can just attack for 1. Actually, no, she won't do that. We'll attack for 2. Not an ability. We defeated Topaz. White Fox will just start working on this. No, I don't think so. I think we're just going to get more information. We'll do... Hold on. So this does Posse. And then we can jump down, get rid of Superpower, and play ready for fight and not have to advance. That seems better. Yeah, so I think that's fine. We'll just do White Fox to work on this slightly. Then we can do double for the Posse, which we're lucky that we found White Fox when we did. So it says play only if you control 3 Posse characters, White Fox, Diamondback, and ourselves. So we heal 1 damage and we ready all of them, which is really good value. That's an absurd value for a card. All right, we're going to jump down and recover because we're a bit beaten up. We're going to be able to discard Superpower Training and White Fox. This probably won't go through because Blockbuster's going to attack us. If we want to use Domino's pistol here, we're doing X damage for 1 damage. We're probably doing 2 for 1, which is not a good trade. And if we draw an extra resource, we actually can't use it, so that's fine. So we'll just do White Fox to thwart 1 here. We won't use Diamondback. We'll jump down. In Alter Ego, and mind you, when we discard these cards, technically the Genius hits the bin, then the Posse, from my understanding. So we can't get the Genius on top, which is, again, a play pattern I have to remember. We can't play the Posse again this turn, which is something you can almost set up. But the problem is once Nina jumps down to Alter Ego, she's no longer Posse, but we could play it twice, which is actually really good fun. We're going to use Nina to recover for 3. We're going to use Superpower Feedback. There's so many cards with the word Superpower. Why did I do that? So we're going to discard, doesn't really matter, to get rid of this. There's 1 more in the deck. And then we're going to discard a Wild to play ready for a fight so that when we get attacked, we can defend instead of getting threaded on, which honestly wouldn't be the end of the world. And we'll pass. So again, we had so much control over that turn, and that's because of our abilities, as much as we also could grab from our discard pile. We haven't found any digging deeps yet, so discarding is only getting better and better and better and better. Posse's a hero action. You'd be surprised. It's not. Golby, how's it going? It's just an action. Oh God, it's a hero action. I said this so confidently. Why have I read this card before and thought it was not a action? What am I thinking is not an action? Yeah, Golby, you're right. I said this confidently on camera. This is an action. You can do it on both sides. How did I? If you make up your own rules, the game's easier. In rules reference, it uses the term resolution of ability frequently. It may not say resolve, it says resolution. Oh, maybe my control F has been a bit sloppy. I could see that. The field is not a hero action. What? Wait, what? That one I don't know what we're talking about. We'll pass. The field. I don't know. There's the digging deep. Yeah, this is going to happen. We talked about we haven't seen him. Lucky break. We've not today, so now we actually can defend well and remove threat, which we will. We have a Painted Lady, which we definitely want, and we have Weapon X. So these are reasons to be an Alter Ego, and luckily this turn's a good turn to be an Alter Ego because Knock Knock will clear itself out without worrying about us. Oh, Probability Field. Yeah, you're right. That's the one that's not a hero action. That one's cool. Both of our upgrades that care about boost cards and counter cards, they are hero interrupts, though, which is unfortunately. 3, 2... Blockbuster with thwart for 1 on the card, which is not guaranteed to be a problem, but this is where we'll fire ready for a fight. And I don't know why I put a counter on it. I did have at one point prepared for the worst, or sorry, practice plan in this, and I don't think you need it. So we'll flip up to hero mode. When we're hero mode, we'll defend for 3, and then we already have 1 digging deep. We don't need 2 because we always want 1 on top of our deck. We'll play not today. So we're now defending for 5. Against Blockbuster, and if we take no damage, we draw a card and remove 2 threats. So a 3 boost here is actually pretty bad for us. But we'll roll the die. Blockbuster will attack for 3 and a card, and we'll give him a toughness to make it just that. 2 boost on Vertigo, nailed it. So a couple things happen. Firstly, we take no damage, which is nice. We remove 2 threat. We'll work on this one so we can clear it, and then we can crack Unflappable to draw a card. Oh, Pip, the whole gang's here. That's it. We'll draw an encounter card. Exhaustion, nice. Love playing protection into exhaustion because we're already exhausted usually by the time you draw it. Pushed to the limit. There's Blockbuster himself. Attached to the villain. Well, there's exactly one villain underrouted. It gets steady. If there's two villains against Stalwart, hero action exhaust. The villain attacks you. Discard this card. Now, if we defeat Blockbuster, this card is detached because the next villain does not have the same name, from my understanding. So it actually will be detached. So we can either deal with that, or we can just like deal 10 damage to Blockbuster. I think there's a chance we won't deal with this recently. Once this advances, it gets a bit easier to get attacked. So we'll find out. Domino, so my brain. I've been playing so many test games this week, and I've been doing most of them wrong, it turns out. Oh, no, we take a damage. It was 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. We can't do what we did. So I have to put painted. What was it? Pip the Pug back on the deck. I'll have to shuffle. But we actually did take a damage. So yeah, that sucks. I forgot we had this because it was 3, 4, 5, 6. So we needed a 1 boost. Glad I caught that. I don't think I would have played Not Today into it if I knew, if I remember the Not My Lucky Day, because it's unlikely to get a 1 boost there. On average, I'm expecting a 2 boost. Okay. All right, it's us. We're going to advance no matter what, so we can jump down to Alter Ego. That shouldn't be that bad. Always here, we're going to take Digging Deep, and we're going to use our hero ability to swap it with the top of our deck. Cool. Because now when we shoot, we'll get more value. We'll get +1 card. We need to take the toughness off. That's what our pistol does. So we'll use our pistol. Domino's pistol. So it'll just do 2 damage to the toughness. And then we discard Digging Deep, so we draw Digging Deep. Again, we went up a resource. Yo, and Clutch, how's it going? We're playing some Domino. We're a bit under the weather, but we're doing all right. We have 1 more Digging Deep in the deck. We have 1 more Jackpot in the deck. Weapon X is a nice setup turn this turn. This is annoying, but not much we can do about it. Wait Fox will just work on it. If we jump down, we have access to Not Today, which is not my favorite. But I think we're going to do, setup here. And just play as many of our setup cards as we can. So probably these 3. Blockbuster's just a hard hero to ignore against. She's a favorite, excuse me, mine too. Oh my god, is she fun. So we'll flip down, and now we have to remember Alter Ego text, which can swap with the top of our discard pile. Choose a card in your hand, swap that with the top card of your discard pile. Okay. So I'm going to pitch for Painted Lady. So now when we discard cards, we can add them here. That will definitely fire this turn. It should fire this turn. Then we can do Digging Deep for Weapon X. This will put us up +1 card, but there's a big chance this will put us +2 cards. Now, it's actually worth saying here, like, do we need an extra card here? We probably don't, because we can just play Lucky Break and pass. Now, Lucky Break's not going to do anything. We're going to start next turn in hero mode. So the thing that we can do with the Painted Lady is we can get 2 cards underneath it. In terms of big boost cards we haven't seen so far, we haven't seen Lockjaw, we haven't seen Nick. We could Digging Deep to add it to our hand. I think we're just going to play Lucky Lady and pass. Or sorry, Lucky Break and pass. I don't think we're actually going to do these this turn because adding a card to our hand doesn't seem like it's that good. We have seen a lot of our hero events, which are the worst things to draw on this turn because we've jumped down. But I think we'll see, like, as a results-oriented angle, what we would have drawn with these 2 when we pass right now, and I guess we will. So this is why we're not scared about this, because this will clear right now immediately. So this is the turn you can jump down without any consequence. So we'll draw 6. So we would have discarded a Digging Deep and we would have drawn it. We would have discarded Not Today. We could have put it on the Painted Lady. We've drawn a Ready for a Fight. Oh, it was actually really good if we hit this button, because we get a free Ready for a Fight and a Not Today tucked away for next turn. Actually would have been really sick if we hit the button. And, oh no, because Not Today would have been here. Yeah, that's fine. What doesn't kill me? Sharpshooter? Lockjaw? It would have been a really good Weapon X. We would have ripped through our deck though, because we haven't seen any hero cards. So I think we should have hit the button there for sure. That was going to be really, really good. This hand is kind of strange. The What Doesn't Kill Me is good though. The Sharpshooter is probably worth setting up. It's not great into shooting into toughness. All right, Knock Knock fires. So this goes to 4, but this goes to 3. And then once this is 3, it advances. So it doesn't really matter. All right, this is the last main scheme. And now this is where the scenario really starts. So we're holding down the doors until the doors break. And then the bad thing happens. Mutant Massacre, in fact, is a really rough name. So each player puts 1 set-aside Morlock ally into play under their control, 2 set-aside Morlock allies instead if this is a single-player game. So we get 2 Morlocks. Morlock allies are good. They don't take up slots. We get 2 of them. They have 5 health. I'll just show you really quickly. They have victory -1, which doesn't really matter. It's just trying to tell you you don't want to put them in the victory display. They do not count against your ally limits. They cannot remove this ally from play, but when an enemy attacks, they have to attack a Morlock you control instead. We can still defend for them, but yeah, they are now something we have to protect. They also do, in theory, attack and thwart for 1, which is not bad. We get 2. This will get shuffled into the counter deck in a second. Now it says shuffle the hide treachery. It's a good treachery. It's genuinely good. Shuffle into the deck. And if the previous stage was advanced by knock counters, which it did, these both get a tough. So we basically get 2 free blocks, which is really quite nice. And there's ways to get those toughnesses back. Just to flip this over, this is the final scenario, or the final scheme, excuse me. It's Mutant Massacre side 2. So this one just says, as an action, you can exhaust a Morlock ally to shuffle the hide back into the deck. That's something we need to remember to do. And if there are 3 villains under routed, we win the game, and the stage is completed, we lose, or if all the Morlocks are defeated, we lose. So that's what we have to worry about. 8th threat is not super high, but Blockbuster here is only scheming for 1, technically 2 because of the Amplify, so we'll see what happens this round. We do have 2 free blocks from this point forward, so that's a huge benefit from not letting the thing advance. Is like 2 toughnesses is worth a lot. It's worth a heck of a lot, especially when Blockbuster attacks so hard. And again, when we defeat Blockbuster, whatever's underneath them immediately activates against us. So having a toughness for that is good. All right, Blockbuster is going to scheme for 2 in a card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of under fire. That's a lot of threat. We technically could lose this turn if we draw in advance. Caught off guard though. Okay, that's not bad. So we have to discard something we control. I'm just going to get rid of a Lucky Break. It's very easy to play. And I don't think we need it that bad. Notably, like Lucky Break is a really nice way to not just die to an advance, but unfortunately it's only a hero interrupt, so we couldn't do it. Okay, so we want to get a card on top of our deck. We can't. So I think here we're just going to start by using Weapon X and see what happens. So again, this says exhaust Weapon X and take damage. We can decide to take Lucky Break back into our hand. Is it going to be better on average than any other given card? Probably not, because there's a chance we can get a jackpot in there, which is going to be really important. So we'll take a damage and we'll start ripping cards until we find a hero-specific card. Okay, so we found a jackpot. So this one's in our hand, and this is where we can do the wild thing. So we would have got jackpot last turn, which would have been so good. We would have drawn and discarded all these cards and ended up with 4 resources in our hand for taking 1 damage. Now, what we're allowed to do with jackpot is we can do something like this. So we can get rid of... I don't think we need the sharpshooter right away. We can pitch, you can't pitch Lockjaw for Lockjaw, right? So that means we need to play Lockjaw first, or get Lockjaw in the bin first. So I'll pitch Lockjaw for Ready for Fight, just to have that on backup. Okay, so now we have a Ready for a Fight, we played a physical. Now what we can do is we can pitch 1, 2, 3, 4 for Lockjaw, who you can play from your bin. Very good dog. Comes in with 4 health, can attack or defend or thwart twice. And now we're going to choose to put these in the bin in this order. Now we can use our alter ego ability to swap one of our cards with our hand. So we're going to swap that with Jackpot and put that here. Okay, so far so good. With this hand, we probably play Sharpshooter. Lockjaw will deal with Not My Lucky Dice. Blockbuster doesn't have toughness. That's okay. We didn't get anything on the Painted Lady, which sucks. In theory, that's the cool thing is when you discard Jackpot, there's actually like 3 things you can choose to do with Jackpot. When it's discarded, you can choose to shuffle it back in. Notably, we won't deck out, so we want to keep Jackpot in our deck because we might have a huge Jackpot turn in the near future. The other thing you can do is put it straight on the Painted Lady and add it to your hand on a later turn, or of course, you can just add it to your hand. We're at 5 health. I think we actually do just recover here. So we'll recover for 3. Our probability field's in our bottom X cards. We'll flip up. We're not worried about the tax yet because we have the toughness. Getting White Fox in the bin in a second is going to be pretty good. We're just going to use Lockjaw here to thwart 2 to get rid of this Amplify, which has been pretty bad for us. And then I don't think we want to play the Jackpot. So I'm going to use our hero ability to swap the top card of our deck with the Jackpot. It's a defensive conditioning. So what doesn't kill me, actually, we can't play anymore. That might have been better than recovering. So our choice here is probably the defensive conditioning because getting our stats up are good. And then the Jackpot's still on the top of the deck. So we'll spend 2 for defensive conditioning. So like such a fun turn. We get 3 extra health and we get 1 more defense. And that's going to be good because we need to stack up against Blockbuster's perfect block. Next, we want to get the shuffle into our deck. So we technically, drawing it or not drawing it, it's pretty likely we draw it. But now we can just use Domino's Pistol. And this is where the deck gets really fun, is when you get this into your bin with very few cards. So we discard Jackpot. We could choose to shuffle it back. We can also tuck it on the Painted Lady, but I'm going to choose to shuffle it back because it's really good in a thin deck. And now we do 3 damage to Blockbuster unranged. And we got to do a lot of shuffling at this point in the game. White Fox we can use as a block. Can also take a toughness off. We could discard White Fox, or sorry, use White Fox to get her into the bin. Technically, if you do that on a turn that you jump down is good, but we have Ready for a Fight, so I'm not worried about being threaded out. So I think we'll just keep White Fox for another turn. We know where our Posse is. We're not going to activate with them. Diamondback is probably not the most important thing to thwart with. Thwarting is going to be a problem. We really need to find our probability field so we can thwart for higher numbers, and we'll pass. Draw 5. Nick is here. Nice. Okay. Energy. Not today if we want to. Lucky and good changes boost cards. And then we have a good workout, which is our big attack. So this is the thing where we have 3 cards left and there's a jackpot in it, which we have only 2 ways to discard cards on this turn. And our probability field's in our bottom 3, which I'm not happy about. All right, Mutant Massacre goes to 6 of 8. Blockbuster's attacking us here. 4 and a card. We're going to give him a toughness to make it 6. In theory, we could not give a toughness to give it +6 attack and overkill, which I think I'm going to do because at the end of the day, he's going to be attacking one of these Morlocks and we're not going to intervene. In theory, if this has piercing on the boost, I don't think there is any piercing on boost in this encounter set, but we'll allow him to talk for 3, 4, 5, 6 with overkill into this Morlock. We don't have to exhaust the Morlock, which is nice. So 6, 7, 8. Oh, this is our other minion in the deck. It's really, really scary for my Nemesis set, so we just lose the toughness. 1 encounter card. Master plan. All right, so we're going to get some more threat work to do, which is not something we're very good at here. So we can't place 4th threat on the side scheme, so we discard cards until we find one. Lost 2 minions. A lot of these side schemes scare. Wow, a lot of minions. Scale. We lost the hide, so we have to remember that. They scale with the amount of cards under routed. So, oh, this one doesn't. So we're going to put the hide back in the deck, but that was a lot of deck damage, specifically minions, which sucks. The Senator's support. Comes in with 4 threat, amplify again. When defeated, the first player discards cards until you get an attachment and then you attach it and you reveal it. So it can be attached to Blockbuster, but also there's a bunch of attachments from the set that attach to us. Notably, we've discarded hide and we can always exhaust a Morlock to put this back into the deck, which I will just here at the top of our turn using this Morlock who's already tough. And this card, when we draw, gives a Morlock a tough status, which is a good reason to use one of our Morlocks as tough status in the first place. Okay. So this is a turn where we could maybe double play Lockjaw. Maybe. This is a turn where as long as we threat slightly more, we can also jump down, which I think is probably worth doing. One of the attachments in this deck is the probability superpower feedback thing, which if we're jumping down, that's pretty good. Oh, that's our deck. I meant not meant to pick it up. Sorry. Where's our hand? This is our hand. I picked up our deck and here's our hand. But yeah, our hand is Pip, probability field, and jackpot, which is something we totally knew. But yeah, that's going to be really important. Apologies, I didn't mean to pick that up. It's hard to shuffle 3 cards, so if we have to rip off the top of the deck, I'll roll a die. All right, it's back to us. Take a deep breath. So, things that we have to clear. This is slightly too high for us to be comfortable. Domino's Pistol should be ready. We can always shoot Blockbuster, and if it hits the probability field, it'll go into a discard pile or onto the Painted Lady, and that means we'll have access to it, which is really good. We're allowed to jump down with Ready for a Fight, which is really good. If we play Nick on this turn, it's like not my favorite, unless we whiff off of the, off of the jackpot, because we want to be able to play the jackpot multiple times here. As much as like we don't have a lot of payouts for it, it'll be like Diamondback and Pistol, and that's it, unless we draw our probability field. We can always start by swapping a card from our hand with the top of the deck, but if it draws the jackpot, it's like pretty bad because we can't get it back into the deck without jumping down, which then, yeah, it's not very, very easy. Actually, there's no way to get back into the deck. So if that's the case, it's nice to have Lockjaw miss the deck cycle. That's like super, super true, because if he's in the discard pile after we deck out, we have access to Lockjaw on any turn. So Lockjaw is a card that you have to be very careful for. White Fox, though, on the other side is a card you want in your discard pile when you deck out. So I'm just going to use White Fox to thwart for 1. And then she gets knocked out. This opens up one of our ally slots. Just to make our team a bit separate from the Morlocks, we'll just move them over. Okay, that's us. So I think here we might as well just use the pistol and hope. We have a 1 in 3 chance of hitting the jackpot. I'm just going to roll a die because shuffling 3 cards is a bit hard. So this would be 1, 2, 5, 6. 5, 6. Didn't hit the jackpot. We hit the probability field, which is the card we definitely want on our first cycle. So we're going to do 2 damage. Oh, we can't be at 12 health. Sorry, we should be at 12 health. We can't be at 14. How do we get up to 14? Huh? So we do 2 to the villain. And I'm not going to put this in their discard pile. I think I'm going to tuck it on the Painted Lady. The Painted Lady, whenever you discard a card, you can put it underneath here. So now if we jump down, we have access to this thing, which is good. So now it's a 50-50 on hitting our jackpot, which would be really, really sad if we miss it. It would be very, very bad. That's a good enough reason to Diamondback, I guess. Diamondback doing 3 damage is like pretty good. So we will just use Diamondback here and we'll exhaust to take 1 damage to do 3 damage. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 is the bottom one. Jackpot, nailed it. Okay, so we can decide what to do with this. We actually can decide to discard this. And if we do discard this, we can go grab it immediately when we jump down. And this is what I mean, that there's so much agency that you can do on the turn. Notably, we do 3 damage to everybody. So the villain just takes 3 damage. That's not an attack. We don't have to worry about retaliate in the future, which is good. So either we can put Jackpot back in our deck, or we can attach it onto the Painted Lady, or we can leave it in our deck here so that when we jump down, we can get access to it. So many cool things you want to do. Don't want your friends to hang around those gross Morlocks, lol. I mean, that's not what I meant. I honestly think there's a chance we can keep the jackpot here. We could also knock out Blockbuster this turn. We know this card has 2 boost on it because it is Pip. So if we do a good workout that does 6 damage, which knocks out Blockbuster, which means the next character will attack us, which unfortunately, oh yeah, we can block with this Morlock because it doesn't have to exhaust the block, which is not a bad spot to be in. I think that's actually probably worth doing because I don't think we're going to be playing Nick Fury this turn because we're going to be jumping down. And when you jump down, Nick Fury's not that great of a play. So I think the jackpot will actually... Doing extra damage with the workout doesn't matter. So I think the jackpot actually we will tuck here. No, that means it misses the next deck cycle guaranteed, right? Because there's no way to get this card back into our deck. And no, it is. It's just you have to grab it, jump up, and shuffle it back in. So let's just plan it out. I think we jump down. We spend 2 cards playing this. We can grab Pip as our last card and then play Pip. And then we deck out. So if that's the case, having the jackpot underneath us is not that bad. God, this deck is like so fun. Domino is so cool. Okay, I think that's fine. Next, we're going to play 2 for a good workout. Oh, this means we miss Pip. That's fine. So deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. So we discard Pip, which is 2. When the card is discarded, I think it goes straight to your discard pile. I don't think it goes to limbo, but let me know if I'm wrong about that because I think Pip gets shuffled. These cards, this one gets shuffled, but good workout doesn't. So energy will get shuffled. But we've technically done 6 damage to the villain, which means we'll advance. So I'm just going to shuffle this immediately because that happens. But I'm pretty sure the card gets discarded straight into the discard pile. I think. I'm pretty sure. So we're going to knock out Blockbuster, which is good. That means Domino's alter ego text can only give us a good workout, which is not the end of the world. And it means Nick Fury missed the cycle, which like, yeah, that's okay too. All right, so we do 6 damage to Blockbuster. That defeats Blockbuster. Can't you attach Pip to the Painted Lady? Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, you're right. We might as well. Yeah. Why not? I keep forgetting that you can do this all the time, that the exhaust is only on the grab, not the other one, which makes sense. Yeah, might as well. You're right. Hey, Jalen Horm, happy Sunday. How you doing? Catching up on the stream, I wanted to chime in that I think the text indicating Domino's Nemesis minion is because her Nemesis has 2 minions, needed to indicate which is her Nemesis. Growlix, you're totally correct. Somebody reminded me in chat after that point, and I don't know why I haven't realized that. The text looks really strange, though. I feel like it would be in italics or something, but yeah, that is cool. I don't think I realized that. There's like no text that says Nemesis minion on it. So that means if that's the case, it should be on Ares too, right? Yeah, but you see the formatting is different. That's what I'm trying to say, is I think it's technically wrong on Topaz, where this should be left justified and italics. It's middle justified and not italics. I think that's the weird thing, right? I think. Anyways, let's do this. So defeated. Blockbuster gets tucked. We reveal Chimera. Cool. So now we have Retaliate 1, which, mind you, Diamondback don't care. And then we have 1 tucked minion, which once we hit, enemy, once we hit 3, that's an issue. So villain name Chimera. And then we have Chimera. Don't worry about that etch over there. Villain set 14. Chimera says when Chimera attacks you or an ally you control, she either gets +2 attack or we have to spend 2 mental resources. That's like kind of doable because we have extra wilds. Now, when we defeat something and it gets tucked into routed, the next villain immediately attacks us or activates against us. So Chimera's going to attack, and we're going to give her 4 attack, and we're going to block with this Morlock, who doesn't have to exhaust. It's just going to become the target of the attack. So 4 takes the toughness. Okay, cool. All right, so far so good. We are still ready, notably. I totally forgot that we're still ready. We don't have a probability field here that we have access to right away. We actually could have blocked for 4. That might have been fine, and we would have drawn a card. That actually could have been an angle that we had here, because our basic activation is not super good. I think regardless, we'll just thwart for 1. Oh, it was for 5. Yeah, with Chimera's Amplify. We'll jump down. Okay, we'll grab a probability field off of the Painted Lady. Exhausting it. I guess we could Weapon X here first, but I don't honestly think we need to. I think we learned last time we might as well Weapon X, but we don't have a huge incentive to Weapon X here. Well, actually, no, we could get a playable card. I think we will do it. So we're going to Weapon X here. So we're going to exhaust this. We'll take a damage, and we'll start ripping cards from the top of our deck. So we get a ready for fight. We could tuck it here. Yeah, it's always nice to have one here because it's the thing that stops us from jumping down. And we drew a lucky break, which is perfect because that's playable. So I think we're going to play 1-2 for our most important card, Probability Field. So this card does not exhaust. You can use it in an alter ego, but every time we do a basic action, we get plus X, where X is what we rip off the top. And then I'm just going to play Lucky and Good because I don't think Lucky Break is actually a bit better. I feel like encounter cards are a bit more important to manage, and I think we'll just discard this. But Lucky Break is the one that just says grab another encounter card, which when you play solo, that feels a bit more important than the boost card. Like the boost cards won't ruin us in this scenario. Yeah, Teclam cards. Metaffer, how's it going? Glad to see Domino gameplay. She might be my second favorite hero in the game. Yeah, she's in my top 5. She's damn fun. So much fun. This is something that I've appreciated more about Marvel Champions the more that I've been playing Arkham Horror recently. And it's such a big deal. Arkham Horror has kind of cards like this. Like, sorry, you pick up a hero, a character, an investigator, and then you build a deck for them, just like we did today. But the difference with Arkham Horror is that when you pick up your hero, your investigator, it generally only comes with 3 cards that make your character distinct. That sucks. Man, it's so much cooler when our kit is like 15 cards out of 40 that makes your character unique. That is so much more fun. But I honestly think the bigger thing to that is that when you play Nina, when you play Domino, you can pick any aspect. When you play Arkham Horror and you pick up Joe Diamond, you have to be a seeker. And just like playing the core box, which we did on stream like a week ago, when you play the core box, all you have access to is like, here are the seeker cards that you can play with Joe Diamond. And when you compare it to the core Marvel Champions box, where you get like She-Hulk, you can build like at least 4 very distinct She-Hulk decks. And I think that's something that's like bumming me out by playing a limited environment with Arkham Horror compared to Marvel Champions. It's like, there's so many options for the same for hero, but there's only one deck you can build for every investigator, kind of, if you know what I mean, right? All right, ready for fight? Not today. Hard to ignore. All our protection stuff. What doesn't kill me? All our protection stuff. And we have the Posse. Unfortunately, we can't play the Posse this turn. So we're going to have to... Oh, one more card. Not today. So we're going to have to get a card underneath us or figure out how to play the Posse this turn. So first thing that's first, this goes to 5. And if Chimera schemes for 3 in a card, we're probably going to lose the game here. So we're forced to do ready for a fight, which is good that we have another ready for a fight here, but we might have over-indexed how many cards we put underneath there. Luckily, we have another ready for a fight, but we're really incentivized to jump down for a bunch of different reasons. Specifically because we play Pip the Pug, we can go get a Posse card from our discard pile on top of our deck, which we can maybe get access to. But we definitely want to get another Posse card here. We flip up. Chimera is now attacking. I'm assuming she's going to be attacking for 5 in a card. We can block for about 6, and we can discard a card if we get lucky. So I think we are going to defend here, and we're probably going to do not today for a not today. I don't think we can actually play double not today. Maybe that's a bit rich. We actually can't play this what doesn't kill me because we don't have enough damage. So we'll pitch what doesn't kill me for a not today. So actually, the order of this is kind of important, right? So this says when your hero defends against an attack. So that's one timing checkpoint. We are defending for 4. But probability field is an interrupt. So I think it happens first. It says when you use a basic power. Chat can let me know if this is not correct, but I'm pretty sure we've now used a basic power to defend. And then after we commit defense events, but I'm pretty sure we have to use probability field first because we've already committed to the defense. That's correct, right? So we're at 4 and we'll discard a card. We would love to have a white fox here. It's a sharpshooter, which means that we're now defending for 5. So we're defending 5 against 3. So I think Double Not Today is pretty good because it clears the sender's support, and then like that's kind of fun. As much as the amplify is not that bad, this is actually a bigger scare for us. So we're definitely not going to play this. So we can play 1 Not Today at a minimum. So we're defending here for 7. I'm almost certain you're correct in the timing here. Yeah, I think that's correct because interrupts should happen first, and then you can play this. This is also an interrupt, so I guess they're technically the same interrupt. Forced have to happen first, but this is when you use a hero defense. I think they're the same timing window, so we can choose the order. Maybe that's more accurate. So we're defending for 7. We could spend 2 mentals, which we could. This posse actually might not do anything. So I think we're just going to defend here for 7 on 5. We're hoping for no boost, which is maybe a reason why we should have kept the boost mitigation card. Because this is a really big hit if it hits unflappable and removes 2 threat. So yeah, maybe we should have kept the boost mitigation card and just not IP penaltied ourselves. Yeah, that seems fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nailed it. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We block for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We take no damage. A couple things happen. Not Today fires. We can remove 2 threat. I'm just going to work on this one. That's more of a priority. The amplify has been a bit annoying, but not the end of the world. And then, of course, with Unflappable, we draw a card. Oh, nice. That's exactly what we needed. We need another Posse card. The problem is resources, so we're going to have to jump down or get lucky because we can't play Outlaw and the Posse. The problem is our jackpot is stuck down there. 1 encounter card. Seek the Weak. It says, the villain attacks you. If there's at least 1 villain under router that's attacking is overkill. So Chimera is now attacking with overkill, which we cannot block this. So what can we do? So I think we're just going to block with Lockjaw, which means we basically heal 2. We could actually take the damage to our face, which is not the end of the world. Like, we're healthy. We did throw out a What Doesn't Kill Me, which is a bit unfortunate. Technically, actually, no, it attacks the Morlock, so we have to block with Lockjaw. Because any attack that's not defended is forced to go into a Morlock, right? Because the Morlock, when enemy attacks this. So we will defend with Lockjaw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lockjaw blocks 2, we take 4. And we have now access to our good boy from our discard pile. If you jump down, you can't play the Posse. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem we have, is that if we jump down, it's impossible to play. Impossible. Watch Mean Girls with my partner for the first time last night. FFG, stop trying to make environment happen. It's not going to happen. You only watch Mean Girls for the first time? It's a really good film. Man, Mean Girls is great. Hey, Skeleton, MC current environment is still pretty limited, but you can make a pretty interesting deck for each core hero in most aspects. I've been dabbling with it. I'm not like super well versed with current environment in Marvel Champions compared to like, I've been doing more research for Arkham Horror because I think Arkham Horror, I'm more interested in playing a limited environment. But even with just the core set in Marvel Champions, you can build a whole lot of different decks. Because again, if you can play Spider-Man, you can play 4 flavors of Spider-Man. That's not the case with the core deck of Arkham Horror, where like, again, if you play Joe Diamond, you have to play Seeker Guardian. That's it. So, excuse me. So what are we doing here? Notably, we could have lucky break that card, but what, like, I don't know if we have to. Okay, so things we can do. We have no cards that we want to swap with our top of our deck. I think ideal. Oh, okay, this is where it's a bit tricky. So if we swap a card with the top of our deck, we have a chance that this is a double resource, and then we can add a double resource to our hand, and then that would be nice because we have a double resource. That's good. The problem is if it's not a double resource, if it's a Digging Deep, we want it on top of our deck. Currently, there's equal amount of doubles and Digging Deeps. Now, if we draw a double to our hand, we go down 1 card, we go up 2 cards, we're still a resource short of playing the Posse. So no matter what happens, we're in a bad spot unless we can generate another resource. Wait, why do we have 4 cards in hand? Oh, because this is my example card of putting on top of our deck. Now the cards under the Painted Lady are obviously very good, and at a minimum we can jump down here. We have to choose between playing well, we play this Ready for a Fight, and a minimum we'll grab the jackpot and use the jackpot to play Lockjaw, which like that's already pretty good. And I think that's probably what we're gonna have to do. And then maybe the Posses will something we'll get back with Pip the Pug on the following turn. This is actually kind of annoying here, but I think if we just get this down to 0, we might be okay. The problem is we haven't seen a single advance yet. Again, this is why we played a simpler scenario for scenario 1, but we're already, I wouldn't say struggling, but we have to be pretty thoughtful about every play pattern, at least if we want to play to our best outs. And there is 1 more advance in the discard in the deck, and the deck only seems to be about a dozen cards. So if that gets us, right? Mean Girls is why I always wear pink on Wednesdays at work. It's been a while since I've seen it, but that's like a very quotable movie. Who worked on it? Was it Tina Fey? Like some very, very good comedians work on it. Okay. If we jump down, we also get access to so many more cards, which is nice, but this hand is not super playable. In fact, none of these cards we can play in hero mode besides the Posse. So I think we're just going to start with Domino's Pistol and hope for the best. No, we're not going to start with Domino's Pistol. We're going to swap a card because there's no shot that we can play any of these cards in Alter Ego, so we might as well do our swap. It was a not today for a not today. Oh my god, we're just moving chairs around for no reason. Okay, so that's fine. So then we'll use Domino's Pistol. Oh, I can't rearrange the deck, so where Lockjaw is actually is important. I hate that about this deck. So we're going to discard the Not Today, and then that does 1 damage to the Chimera. It has range, so we don't have to worry about the retaliate. So the villain takes 1. Nailed it. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, none of these cards really matter in hero mode because we can't play the Posse and Outlaw, so I think we are just allowed here to jump down. So we'll jump down. We're still not ready. All right, we're in Alter Ego. We can grab the Not Today if we want to. We can grab 1 card off the Painted Lady. In theory, if we empty this, we can tuck other cards underneath us. This hand is really quite bad. My guess is that we're going to play Outlaw and Lockjaw. So I think we're just going to use the Painted Lady here just to get a slot underneath it ready. So we'll take the Jackpot back into our hand. So now we have the Jackpot. Next, we can do Weapon X. So let's start ripping cards. So we'll take a damage and we'll just start discarding cards. White Fox. Oh, it was 1 card deeper. So now we have too many ally slots, but now we could have played our team up, but we can't. So she's on the table. Med team, I could see us playing that. And we have another Domino's Pistol. Okay, so that's good. So we probably won't play Lockjaw here unless we really want to, because having more Posse characters seems pretty good for us. So I think we'll try and hold on to the Posse, or we'll discard it, and then we'll have access to it next turn if we don't jump up, because it'll be at the top of our discard pile. That's really, really cool. So now we got a lot more options. The Domino's Pistols are really good in this scenario because the villains will have increasingly more and more retaliate and has ranged. So what's the best thing we can do here? This is exhausted, mind you. We use Domino's Pistol, excuse me. Very cool. So I could see us doing Outlaw. Cool. I think that's better than the dog. So she comes in with 3 health and toughness. Toughness is nice into the big attacks. We can now use our Alter Ego ability to swap the Jackpot back into our hand. This is why we do this sort of stuff. We'll just get rid of a Not Today. We have to go ahead and play the Ready for a Fight. We're probably not going to jump up on the first thwart. We're probably going to jump up on the next thwart. So like if there's an advance. So we just want to clear as much of this as we can so that we don't lose to one scheme, but the second scheme we can react to. And I think we're just going to do Jackpot for the second time into our second pistol. We can't use it, but now we have 2 guns. And like having 2 guns and just shooting like twice a turn is the most fun Marvel Champions. Can't shoot it, it's a hero action. At least it's with the Posse, which is probably worth keeping. We'll thwart 1 with White Fox. We'll keep Diamondback alive. We'll actually use the 2 Morlocks to thwart because you can. And then we'll pass. Nice, really good turn. Never use Weapon X, and watching you use it is making me think it's better than I realized. The card is so good. Weapon X is absurdly good. Okay, it's like on one side, you're basically trading, and admittedly it's a random card for 1 damage. That's not bad. There's a lot of characters where 1 damage for a resource is what you'll pay. But specifically when you have these like recursion engines, let alone you have cards like Digging Deep and White Fox, it is gas. It is like worth jumping down an Alter Ego just to fire Weapon X. Especially also, you can do this really cool thing with our hero mode is that we can put a really good card on top of our deck, jump down, and then Weapon X through it. So if we put like a Digging Deep on top of our deck and we jump down, Weapon X gives us 2 resources, right? Like guaranteed. It's very, very good. How's it going, by the way, Spider Bro? Mean Girls was such a blind spot for me. My niece asked me to watch it with her last summer. So many quotes and references started making sense to me after that great film. There's a lot of like, yeah, pop culture references that come from Mean Girls. And the fact that like younger generations are still think that film is as important as it is, it's great. Are we going to hold up the Posse because it's good? We'll drop. Atlas Bear, I told you this card's not amazing, but probably worth cutting. What doesn't kill me is good because we're injured. There's a Digging Deep we can put on top, a Strength, and a good workout to do damage as much as we have good damage on the table. All right. Goes to 1 threat. Chimera schemes here for 3 and a card. We'll just let it happen. 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't realize that could happen. Wait, I thought that would be bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's on 7. Okay. We 1 encounter card. Seek the Weak. What happens in Alter Ego? Surge. Okay, fantastic. Surge. Hide, okay, also has a surge, huge surge train. So we get to put a toughness on a Morlock. That's nice. This is worth shuffling back in for sure. All right, Inhibitor Collar. This one's not bad at all. In fact, it's really easy to deal with this when you have Morlocks. This card's surprisingly easy. So it says, treat identities printed text box as blank. That's important, but choose to either exhaust a character you control or take 3 damage. One of those doesn't seem equivalent to the others. Is Arkham MC or MC more fun? They're definitely different games. Arkham is a game that I don't particularly enjoy playing. Well, okay, comparatively, don't like. Oh, let me try this again. Arkham Horror requires a lot more setup and consistent play, and it's more of an RPG where you have a deck that you upgrade, and it's more thoughtful. There's more scenarios in a campaign, at least there classically used to be. It's a game that I play weekly with a group of 3 friends, and we play 4-player, and it's like a fun social thing. Marvel Champions, to me, is more of a game that I play solo. I know I'm, to some extent, not exactly the minority, but there's a lot of people that play this as a social multiplayer game. I don't have a lot of experience, but this is the game that I'll play if I have 30, 40 minutes on a Wednesday night, and I just want to get some games in and try and building a new weird deck. They're different. They're very, very different. Almost all the LCGs that you can play are slightly different. This is more of a power fantasy. Arkham Horror is more of an RPG, and it's a bit crunchier in some ways. Or at least it can be. They're very different games. Yeah, it wasn't a bad encounter phase at all. I realized that despite having played tons of games of Domino, I've never put Weapon X into her deck. What the heck is wrong with me? Gotta fix it. Yeah, it's so good in her deck. Age campaign has been on the decline. The new campaigns, at least the campaign that's coming out this year, is only a 3 scenario campaign instead of the 8 scenario campaigns we're used to. And the scenario that's coming out next year is only a 5 scenario campaign. In short, they're making boxes smaller. We'll see how that lands. I've been okay, and I'm actually excited this week. There's more Marvel Champions content coming out, or sorry, Arkham Horror, but yeah, it's been whatever. All right, so we'll use the toughness one to get rid of the collar. And I don't think we're going to need this Morlock, but we'll wait to do this before we pass, where we can shuffle the hide back into our deck. All right, we got a really big turn here. The card that we really want to play around is right place in the right time, because if we draw it, we're in a good spot. So let's just check how many we have access to. I think they're all in the deck. Yeah, so we have a very good chance of Weapon X hitting right place at the right time, which is fantastic. We're going to have a ready this turn, which is also really good, and we have access to Jackpot. This is, again, why Domino is so cool, is we have to decide here whether we want to grab the Jackpot to our hand before we discard, because as soon as we discard cards, we cannot get the Jackpot back. My guess is we always get the Jackpot back, and we're not going to care about Alice Bear, so we'll use our alter ego to just do that swap. Phenomenal. We have more resources than we know what to do with. Next question is, do we use the Painted Lady here to get a card from underneath this so we can tuck something else? My guess is yes. We'll exhaust this to grab the med team because we have the Jackpot in our hand, and we could use some healing, let alone for Diamondback, but for ourselves. We're a bit banged up, as much as we have an what doesn't kill me in our hand. All right, now we're allowed to go do Weapon X, which is just the most fun, so we'll take a damage and start ripping cards. We're likely to hit a Digging Deep, but we're really looking for a right place at the right time. There you go, Digging Deep enters our hand. Card is so good. Luck Be a Lady. Actually, we can set that up too. That's just good enough. That will be threat and damage. It's not an attack, so it doesn't deal with retaliate, but not exactly what we wanted, but good enough. Our deck is 5 cards. 2 of them are right place in the right times. So even with Nina's ability, we can choose to like do a swap and hopefully it gets somewhere. And when we jump up, we're definitely going to do a swap, either with the Jackpot, but it's more likely with the Digging Deep just to get more resources. But this is what I mean. This is our hand. Like our hand has so many options and we still are going to get a Digging Deep back. Domino's the best. Okay. Are we going to recover? We're allowed to recover here, but our hand already has a fair bit of healing, so I don't think we are. I think we're just going to thwart, especially because we have probability field. We thwart pretty hard. First thing I think we want to do here, it doesn't actually matter because discarding a card is always a random card, is that I'm going to use our ability to swap Digging Deep with the top of the deck. So hero swap, we got a Genius. Okay, so this is on top of our deck. So now the question is, what is the card that really needs a wild from our hand? And my guess is actually Luck Be a Lady. So I think we probably play this and it'll count 2 wilds. So we can do, technically we can heal 6, but I think we'll probably remove 4 threat. Is it discard, check, control for each resource controlled this way if it is a wild? So we can choose the same one twice with Luck Be a Lady if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty cool. I cannot, these are olives, right? Those are not grenades. Those are olives. Are those olives or grenades? What's in the picture? Why are there so many olives? Why are there so many olives in this hallway? All right, so we'll pitch for this. Excuse me. Mess. Hey, Sniper, how's it going? So far, so good. Man, I have the most fun with Domino, so it's always a good day. We'll pitch 1 for Luck Be a Lady. We discarded Digging Deep. It enters our hand, and now we can do 2 things. Twice we can do the same. So the healing is okay. It's not super necessary. We have a couple toughnesses on the table. So I'm going to remove 4 threat. So 7 will go down to 3. We're in a good spot. We could deal with the Senator's support. We will deal with it sooner than later, but that's the sort of thing that we'll deal with the other way. Jackpot. We'll go ahead and play Med Team. So I don't play a lot of this card. This card's a bit better than I think it is. And it's like, as a support, it's like a perfect support. So we can heal 2 from any character, which is quite nice. We could use the toughness to do a big attack off of with Outlaw. I don't know if we really need to here. In theory, the healing is wasted, but she can do a double attack because it's a Posse turn, which is pretty good. We'll just start shooting with Domino's pistols. Do we have access to a sharpshooter? We don't. Look at her hand. It's so many resources. Like, we probably end this turn by playing Lockjaw, which is really goofy. So we'll do our first Domino's pistol. This also might have been a turn where we're like getting the jackpot back into our deck was more important because there's so much damage we can do with our pistol. So we're targeting Chimera. We're going to discard. That's the card we wanted, right place and the right time. We will tuck it, but we'll do 2 damage to the villain. It has ranged. We'll do the second pistol. Energy also does 2 damage to the villain. We won't tuck it. So down to 9. And this is what I mean. This is like so free damage turn after turn after turn. And then look still at this hand. This hand is absurd. Absurd. So we're going to thwart for 1. We'll discard a wild. We thwart for 3. I have to say where we're targeting first. It was the main. And then we can do what we want to do. So White Fox will thwart for 1. Outlaw will attack for 3. We're using Outlaw's text here. Wait, are we going to deck out? Okay, we can't do Outlaw's text yet because we can't discard another card here because we're going to deck out. And I think before we deck out, we want to get White Fox back in the bin and we want to play Dumpster Dog. So we're going to do... We also want to get the Digging Deeps back into the deck. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. To get these into the bin. So we can grab Dumpster Dog. We'll discard White Fox by going over limit. Domino's my number 1. I wonder if any hero is ever going to take her spot. She's just the best. She's just so fun. Lockjaw. Okay, so that's good. Now with this hand, we can play the Posse. We can't play What Doesn't Kill Me. It's not that important. If we can get another resource this turn, we could have done it. Maybe we overextended slightly, but we were feeling pretty good about it. We want to get the Posse back in the discard pile too, so I don't think we're going to use Outlaw here. So I think, yeah, we're just going to waste a resource. Did we really scuff it? Oh, this is in the bin too. Maybe we did scuff it because I don't think I was counting. We know this card is right place, right time. Of course it is. But the order of discarding with the Posse, I don't think we wanted to. We could have actually done it first. Yeah, actually, we messed it up. So before we play Lockjaw, we should play double for this Posse. Yeah, I think we messed it up slightly. So we're going to retcon this a bit. So we can heal 1 from every Posse character and ready every Posse character. So Domino will heal 1. We had, in theory, still on the table, we had access to White Fox. So she will just thwart 1 off of this, and then we'll replace her with Lockjaw. Cool. Excuse me. Okay. We know this is a wild. Digging Deep I want back in the deck, but I can't really make it happen. I think, have we done Domino's text? I think we have done Domino's text. But everybody is ready here. If we do the Senator's support, we'll probably fail to hit this. There's a chance we hit a superpower feedback, which is not the end of the world. We could also attack into Chimera for what's probably, we know, 4 damage. But I think we'll just use Lockjaw to thwart this. And we'll get rid of the Senator's support. So when this thing is discarded, we have to discard cards until we find an attachment. It might whiff. And this is also why we didn't shuffle back the hide yet, because there might not be a lot of attachments. I think this is the only attachment, yeah. And that's good to know, because that card is annoying. So we had a whole discussion about this earlier, but Superpower Feedback says anytime that we do one of our abilities, we have to take a damage. Okay, or on one of our cards. So using Probability Field does count because it's an interrupt. So functionally, if we attack into Chimera, we do 4 damage, but we take 2 damage, which I don't absolutely love. We could do Diamondback, but we take 1 damage, which I also don't love. Yeah, I don't love any of those. I'm just going to use Med Team to heal us for 2. This just recovers for 6 slowly. It can also do allies, which is nice. And I think we're not going to hold on to these so we can get the Digging Deep back into the deck. But I definitely wanted to play What Doesn't Kill Me. I probably should have done the math better. She's wasted. I guess we're wasting her activation. Maybe that was a bad Posse. I think the Posse was actually worse than What Doesn't Kill Me. We can do Diamondback. Let's just do Diamondback now. Oh no, but then these cards are still in our hand, and if these cards are in the hand, they don't hit the cycle. So I guess we don't do Diamondback. A bit annoying. It's really impressive how they accomplished nailing the theme of her mutant power. Yes, like you actually make your own luck. It's like such a cool kit. This is one of my favorite design kits by a mile. And before we pass the turn, we'll exhaust the Morlock to just go ahead and shuffle into really thin deck a hide. So we said we'd remember to do that, and we did. There's one kinds of Marvel Champion players, those who love Domino, and I've seen a lot of people not like Domino, and I do think some of that is like if you don't see the ability you have to control your future, it just feels kind of like luck based, and like pinging your pistols for 1 damage doesn't seem consequential. But like I don't know, the precon came with Digging Deep, like it gave you all the tools to like really enjoy her. Unfortunately, we're wasting a lot of resources that turn. We could have done better. What's the big reason to get into MC? If you like the theme of Marvel characters, I mean, that's a big pull for sure. The game gets regular updates, that's nice. But my biggest thing about this game is that, well, I can't really talk about multiplayer. It plays like Slay the Spire. Like, it's just a really fun boss battler where you get these like very Moorish turns where every turn you draw 4 or 5 cards, 4 to 6 cards, and you have to solve that little puzzle. It's a very addictive loop. Hopefully the gameplay sells you on it, because I don't have a better pitch than that. There's a right place, right time. And we deck out. Is this our first deck out? No, shot. This has to be our second deck out. Did I remember to draw an encounter card when we decked out last time? I feel like I didn't. I feel like we haven't drawn an extra encounter card yet. At this point, we really want a sharpshooter because it adds an extra, generally 2 to 4 damage every turn, which is very, very important, especially because Chimera will have, or the next villain will have Retaliate too. Did I just hear Slay the Spire? Yeah, but like this game is functioning like Slay the Spire. It's the same idea. Here's a hand, solve the hand. Next hand, here's a hand, solve the hand. You know what the villain's going to do to some extent. Like you have a turn, they have a turn. I think one of the biggest pulls about this game compared to maybe some other like LCGs or similar things is that each hero plays drastically different. Again, like Netrunner, where your identity is just 1 card, or in Arkham Horror, where your identity is just like 3 cards. Here, your identity is like 15 to 17 cards of your deck. And so like Domino plays very differently than everybody else, even though they share some, you know, basic or aspect cards. I think that's the coolest thing, is to see like, that's why it's so addictive to collect this game. Especially if you like the characters or know the characters, is seeing how the designers at FFG took a power set, an ability like Spider-Man or Domino or Cyclops, I guess, and how they made that make sense in the engine of this game. Very, very cool. Strength, Digging Deep. Okay, we can put that on top of our deck. Hard to Ignore, we probably want one sooner than later, and Luck Be a Lady, which is not bad, especially with the Digging Deep. All right, 1 threat. Chimera is coming in. We don't have to do anything with here. Like, we're not using Unflappable, but whatever. We'll just make it attack this. So she's attacking for 4, because we'll give her a +2 attack. 5 has a boost icon, back in action. If you control a Morlock ally, choose to either deal 1 damage to it or spend a resource. I mean, we control 2, so the toughness will come off. 2 encounter cards. Advance. Okay, so this one is safe at this point. We could Lucky Break this. Actually, should we Lucky Break this? This is a card that we're actually prepared to deal with relatively well because we have right place, right time. So I don't think we Lucky Break this. So the advance just says that she schemes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes to 5. Yep, makes sense. We played around this. Hide. We'll give our weaker Morlock a tough. And then the surges. Very cool to have positive encounter cards. Decks out, notably. We're out of cards. So we have to give ourselves an acceleration, which we're not very good at closing the game, it seems, but we have by any means. This should be one of the cards that scales with the amount of cards underneath. So place additional threat here for each villain underneath. Oh, sorry, there's a couple cards called by any means. So it comes in with only 4 threat. Has a hazard icon. Donclay, are you playing SDS too? Champions is infinite replayability, and the community is awesome. It's a different game at each player count. Hero and aspect selection, and the villain scenario, it's so good. Yeah, it's really good. It's really quite good. For what it's worth, I'm not a big Marvel fan. And like I was a bit not excited to get into this game when it first came out. And then I got into it. I'm like, wait, this is really fun. Yes, a lot. Okay, cool. You doing Ascensions? I've been playing a fair bit, especially like the last couple of days I've been under the weather. So I've just been on my Steam Deck playing Slay the Spire 2. I classically didn't play a lot of Ascension and Slay the Spire, but Slay the Spire 2, especially because the Ascension numbers are smaller, it's been Moorish. It's been really good. Oh, you played back the new Downfall add-on Kickstarter. I played that. I never played it in person. I played it on TTS, but like it's a really nice adaptation. The way the designers of this game consistently manage to transform themes and stories into card game mechanics is incredible. Domino is one of my favorite examples. Yeah. Domino is one of my favorites. Iceman's one of my favorites. There's some really, really strong favorites. Okay, so if we knock out Chimera, she can attack again. We can't knock out Chimera. The most damage we could do if we're incredibly lucky is 6. And that's absurdly lucky. So the first thing we're going to do here is with superpower feedback is like hurting us. There's no way around it. It does suck. So we want to jump down to alter ego sooner than later and discard a card from our hand, which is not hard to do, especially with our identity ability. But yeah, every time that we fire one of our abilities, somebody gets hurt. I honestly think like we're going to probably first do Digging Deep to Luck Be a Lady, maybe just to heal. On that note, we'll just go ahead and med team ourselves so we can recover just because we're a bit hurt. Okay, so mind you, we have max 12 health. We're at 8? Oh, that's not that bad. Now we're at 10. We didn't do that twice, did we? No, yeah, we're at 10. Okay, that's not that bad. Necro's a new favorite. Sentence 6 to 8, depending on character. I'm similar. I'm like 5, 6, 5, 7, 9. Necro was my favorite for a long time. I got to 7 on Necro before I got to 1 on any other character. And then I've been just like jamming Defect because Defect is so fun. Token on Domino's guns are killing me. I swear I'm a 12-year-old sometimes. Wait, why? What's wrong with these? What's wrong with these tokens? Use your words. You don't like them? Okay, so we have to decide what we do because every time we do something, it pings us. Removing this is important. Removing this is important. Getting a lockjaw in the bin is not a real cost here. Thwarting, we just have right place, right time, which will remove 4 to 5 threat. So if that's the case, we can do Domino to clear this, Lockjaw, and Domino to clear that. So we're going to use our text, which means we're going to take a damage, and we're going to use our hero text to put this on top of our deck. We have to decide before we see the card. What a waste of time. Okay, great. We took the damage for nothing. At least we saw the future. Now we're going to go ahead and play Strength for right place, right time. And notably, these enter the bin in this order, as much as this is technically still resolving. But you have to do the resources first. So we'll remove 3, discarding this. 5 threat. We're going to target this one. I pointed to the wrong one, but of course we are, because we know we can deal with that on our own. We knew that was 4 threat. Okay, when we jump down, we have Pip the Pug, which is good. I think the right place, right time tucked underneath this was a huge mistake because it's hard to actually get access to it. We have to learn how to use that a bit better. Next, we will thwart for 1, targeting this, and we'll use probability field. So we're going to take another damage here. So we'll take 1, and we're going to thwart for 1, 2, 3, discarded the Posse. So this goes down to 1. The Posse, if we could put that in our hand, it would be nice, but unfortunately, Painted Lady is full, but we can grab it back next turn. It's not really, doesn't do anything here. So we can use Lockjaw to attack into Chimera, which is probably better use of resources. So we'll just use the Morlock to clear this off. So there, we cleared the whole table. We have it ready for a fight when we jump down, which is good. Every time we do a pistol, she takes damage, but we take damage. Oh no, yeah, we take a bit of damage, but we have to use them now. I think we'll just take the Domino's pistols here because I don't think we're super stressed about damage. So we're gonna go ahead and use both of these just right in order. So we'll do 2 damage, and then we'll do 2 damage. So she takes 4, we take 2. Down to 5. Okay, cool. Lockjaw will attack for 2. Takes 1 off the retaliate, then is defeated. In theory, the ordering here is actually important, where if we discarded this genius, we might have done Lockjaw and Alter Ego, so we can bring Lockjaw back, but the order your discard pile matters in this setup. Not a big fan of that. We can now use Outlaw, but Outlaw's text we can do an Alter Ego after we get rid of the superpower feedback. So I think we'll just jump down here. Once we jump down, we'll get rid of superpower feedback. We have to do that by discarding the only card in our hand we can, which will be Luck Be a Lady. In theory, we can discard right place, right time, but whatever. Now we're going to use the Painted Lady to grab, I think, Pip. Yeah. And the thing that you can do with Pip here is awesome. So with Pip, we can get a card on top of our deck, which is a Domino or Posse card, and then we're guaranteed to get it with Weapon X. So if we want to look at our bin here, if there's any card we want on top of our deck, it's probably the Posse, but I'll be like a next turn setup. So I guess we could set it up for next turn. So sorry, I rearranged this. I keep forgetting I can't do it. It was something like that. It doesn't really matter that much. But we'll go ahead and pitch a Digging Deep for Pip. And now the whole gang is here. I guess before we do Pip, we're going to just do Weapon X, because we can get more cards in hand. I think there's enough cards to be okay with this. But I don't know what we hit here. If we have extra resources, we can go play our dog friend, but we're going to discard cards. We can get the card on top of our deck first with Pip the Pug, but Pip the Pug can't actually draw the Posse because it's not a card that Weapon X can draw. Digging Deep, it's in our hand. Not today is in the bin. We won't tuck it. Good workouts in our hand, so that's kind of useless. So I think we're just going to spend 4 resources here. We'll put this on top, I guess, to bring back Lockjaw. This is why I mean Lockjaw's so good in a discard deck, let alone a deck that wants to jump down an alter ego. And in alter ego, we can't play any of our hero cards, so having a resource sink for our dumpster dog is just like the best. Mind you, dumpster dog doesn't care about retaliate, so we'll attack for 2. Takes 1 on retaliate. Villain takes 2. We could defeat Chimera, but then the next villain will scheme immediately, and then we'll end this turn off by doing Pip the Pug, and then we'll just go ahead and grab and set up our Posse pop-off turn by putting the Posse on top of our deck for next turn. Perfect Domino turn, just the most fun. Outlaw's just been sitting there, that's okay. We'll pass. We could have tucked a card, it's not the end of the world. Is Slay the Spire more fun? I think questions like more fun are kind of useless. Because how much fun you get from something is entirely dependent on yourself. If you're asking me which is more fun, they're different. It's like saying, is football or soccer more fun? It depends on the person, doesn't it? So I don't know if you're ever going to get a good answer if you a question like that, right? Hey friend, Donovan, it's been too long. Hope you've been doing good. I'm in the process of moving, so I've had my hands full. So happy I'm catching a stream again. A friend of mine played your Bishop Snipes from 99 Years deck sometime in the last week, and I loved it. Can't wait to share this Domino deck. Another one of my favorite heroes. For what it's worth, I don't think that deck was mine. I think that was like, was it Andy Yard's deck or Drew's deck? I think it was Drew's deck. But firstly, hopefully your move has been doing good. I know it's a stressful time, so hopefully it's going exactly as well as you want it to be. But hey, yeah, cheers. Thanks for dropping by. I know it's been a minute. Hey, I'm off. Good luck with our stream. Wasteland, thanks for dropping by. Hopefully you've been well as well. All right, we'll draw Posse. What doesn't kill me? More healing. Jackpot, nailed it. Not today. We can play that if we want to. Atlas Bear, and then we have White Fox, which we need to put her on top of the deck for obvious reasons. All right, this goes to 2. Chimera can scheme for, well, what is it? Like up to 5, which won't lose us the game. But I do think we're just going to pop a Ready for a Fight here to hop up, as much as it means we can't use Weapon X or Pip this turn, which are pretty good effects. So we'll jump up. Technically, she's attacking. I do not know the order because Ready for a Fight says, okay, Ready for a Fight changes it to an attack. So it says when enemy would scheme, discard this, the hero enemy attacks you instead. But then I think the Morlock's interrupt fires here. When enemy attacks you, it attacks a Morlock you control instead. So I'm pretty sure she's attacking this Morlock. I think it works like that, as much as we're not using our Inflappable this turn. So she's attacking for 4 into the tough Morlock, 5, 6, 7 off of her mirrored form. So toughness comes off. We draw 1 encounter card. Hey, not my lucky day. It's cool to see this come back. It means we've been playing a bit too slow. As much as we did actually end up ripping like 10 cards off the deck. So comes in with an Amplify. We can either take a damage or add 2 threat here. Let's look at our hand. Our hand is not good at dealing with threat, so we'll just take a damage. Cool. How about instead of most fun, do you find Domino one of your favorite playstyles and champions, or does Magic still hold that place for you? They're both very similar. I think Magic is more thinky. At the end of the day, like Magic really does survive off of stun and confuse, which is not my favorite kind of Marvel champions. Like just saying the villain doesn't do anything is less fun than letting the villain do something and beating that on its own terms. So I think Domino has like more satisfying loops. Magic is definitely as thoughtful, if not more thoughtful, because you have more recursion and stuff like that, but they're both very, very similar. I just think Domino is more fun because like firing your pistols is just fun. Like just shooting all the time is like a lot of fun. And she has like really interesting allies. So I think she edges it out, but the original Bishop deck was sniping from 100 years away. Your interpretation was to add Spectrum. Oh, right on. Yeah, because we played it years later. That tracks. Thank you for not letting me undersell myself. I played your Bishop deck the same debut week. Oh, very, very cool. Yeah, that was a really fun deck. Talking about digging deep. Okay, so if Chimera attacks, we can block with Outlaw, which is fine. We have some threat work to do, but if we knock out Chimera, we get the next villain. So what we can do here is we can put a card on top of the deck. We have too many ally slots, so we're just going to use Lockjaw first. So we'll just do Lockjaw to thwart for this, which is clean, and then Lockjaw gets knocked out. Okay, then we'll do our hero attacks. In theory, we could have done this first. We probably should. And we're going to put White Fox on top of our deck, and instead we'll draw a Lucky and Good, which is fine. Then we'll fire our first pistol, and all we need to do here is 1 damage, and we're exactly doing 1 damage, which is nice. So we're going to discard White Fox. White Fox enters play. And we do 1 damage to Chimera with ranged, so we don't have to deal with the retaliate. And Chimera is now defeated. When Chimera is defeated, we do the things. Let me move the microphone. Okay. We reveal Riptide, who's going to activate against us. We don't discard any other Riptides. Villain name, Riptide. Villain cell health 12, so one of the smaller ones. Oh, excuse me. Did I do it right? Yeah. And villain, sorry, Riptide B. So Riptide's attacking. When Riptide attacks you or an ally, either give +2 attack and gains ranged and piercing. Uh-oh, wasn't ready for that. Or that piercing is pretty bad. Or place 3 threat on the main scheme and 1 threat on each side scheme. I don't want to let that happen. So Riptide's going to be attacking us for 4 with ranged and piercing. So all we're going to do here is use Domino. We're going to be blocking for 4. This is a nice way that we can fire Unflappable here. We could also fire Not Today, but this is actually attack for 4, 5. I guess we're going to first fire Probability Field before we decide what's going to happen here. So again, we'll discard the top card of the deck. It's only +1, so we're blocking for 5. So we're 5 on 5, so it's not likely Not Today will succeed. Actually, it's not that bad. The question is what we're doing with his hand. Like Jackpot will play What Doesn't Kill Me. These 2 cards will play Posse. But the issues of Not Today fails, we don't have enough resources because Unflappable doesn't fire that we actually can't do the thing that we want to do. So I don't think we'll play the Not Today this day. We have enough value already. So, okay. So Riptide is attacking for 4. We're blocking for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 5 into 5. 3 boost. Glad we didn't do it. So we take 3 damage. Ow, actually, that hurts. That hurts a lot. All right. Congratulations, we survived. Next thing we'll do is we'll use Domino's Pistol to discard the top card of the deck. Does 1 damage to the villain. It has range. That's fine. We just have to do 11 more damage. We win, which might be this turn. I'll just use Med Team on ourselves here. So we'll just recover 2. And then I think here we might have lethal. So Retaliate 2 is a lot. That's for sure. But there's ways to get around it. This would be a really nice time to get Jackpot back into our deck because of the pistols, but unfortunately, yeah, actually, where we did the digging deep on the back of the deck, I think it was actually way better that we put Jackpot back into the deck because our deck was only about 6 cards, and we're going to fire Pistol, Diamondback, Outlaw, Probability Field. So this was a really important turn that we could have added like an extra 7 to 9 damage or whatever into our deck. I think that was a really bad misplay because we need to remember when our deck is like, again, we drew a couple cards, but when our deck is 5 cards, Jackpot can fire multiple times. Let alone every time Jackpot whiffs, the next probability of hitting a Jackpot is higher and higher and higher. And this turn, we're going to fire 2 pistols. We're going to use Diamondback once, Diamondback twice, Outlaw once, Outlaw twice, because we're definitely going to be playing the Posse. So we missed out on a lot of damage. I don't think it's going to matter because I think we have 11 damage on the table, but actually very important that we could have done better there. We have to keep that in mind. Again, I do think this deck is like very, very fascinating to play. All right, on that note, there's no way to get this into the deck. So the next thing we're going to do is, I think we're just going to use Diamondback here. So we exhaust Diamondback, do damage. We'll do 1 damage to Riptide. Got him. Nice. We'll then use Outlaw. So Outlaw is going to attack. We're going to discard the top card of the deck. We're going to do 1 damage to +1 damage. So Outlaw is going to attack for 2 into the villain. Retaliate takes off the toughness, and then Outlaw takes 1. That's it for now. Then we're going to do Jackpot for the Posse. Yeah, we messed it up. If we miss lethal here, it's on us. We definitely could have had lethal. So we ready everybody who's Posse, and we heal 1 from them. White Fox will just thwart for 1 because she could have. We recover 1. And so now we can do it again. Okay, so how much damage do we have? We attack for 1, 2, plus how many wilds are left in our deck? None. So it's Nick Fury or this. Okay. Before we do things with Diamondback and Outlaw, can we jump down and get Jackpot back into our deck? We can. So we can still get extra damage from these 2. We definitely want to get our deck to a 50-50 to make it a bit more consistent, but we actually can still use the Jackpot this turn and kind of like fix the problems that we made. So if that's the case, if we attack for what's going to be 3 to 4 damage, that puts Riptide. Yeah, I think we have lethal here for sure. So we'll attack for 2 into Riptide. And we'll Probability Field. So I guess we'll roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've discarded Nick, which we are allowed to tuck down here, which actually might matter. And so we do 2 damage plus 1, so 3 damage to the villain. And we take 2 off of Retaliate. We will now stop. And we will flip down. Then we'll use Pip the Pug. And we're going to go ahead and take a Domino card and put it on top of our deck. So we now know Jackpot is on top of our deck. And this is in theory like what exactly we're meant to be doing here. So we'll exhaust Diamondback. Take 1 damage, and she'll do 3 damage to everybody. And now we can decide what to do with this card. In theory, actually tucking Nick might have been wrong here, but we can either add this to our discard pile or shuffle into the deck for 50-50. No matter what, we have guaranteed lethal here, so it doesn't matter. Then we'll attack with Outlaw. She discards. Still good. She does 3 damage. The villain's defeated. That's it. I think we had so much more damage on the turn if we did put the jackpot back. If this fails, we could have, mind you, what doesn't kill me, but we also can play Nick Fury, and Nick Fury will do either 2 damage or 6 damage, and 6 damage seems a bit better. But yeah, oh my god, that took us a while to get through. I think we were playing forever. It's 12:25. This is really awkward because I have to finish the stream today at like 1 on the dot, and I do not know if we have enough time to play this into Ultron because it's a bit complicated. What do you think we do? Do you think we speedrun this, or is there a scenario that we can play that's faster? I think we can try Ultron, but we're gonna have to play as fast as possible, like chess clock Netrunner, chess clock Marvel Champions, because we have some guests coming over about like 1 o'clock, and I need to be wrapped by like 1:15 at the worst. So what do y'all think? Because playing 1 game on a Sunday is definitely not enough. Hopefully we showed how cool this deck is, and I think we did, as much as like there is a skill cap for sure. I'm exhausted just watching this. It's so much fun. I think this is like one of my favorite things. When I leave a game of Marvel Champions, let alone any card game, and I can leave knowing very clearly, here is 2 or 3 things that I didn't do as good as I could do. It makes me so excited to go back and do it again. Some of this comes from like a background of like going to, Netrunner tournaments and playing competitive games for like, 9 to 10 hours straight. Like that sort of endurance aspect to this, like makes, I enjoy it more than most. Let's just say that. And so I can see why, like, this might be too much. But I just love the idea of leaving a game and thinking, okay, I know I could have done this better. It just makes me want to play another game like immediately. Prototype's pretty mean. That's a mean card. I have a Domino Rush deck. It's basically no thinking, just Gamba. I think the last time I played Domino on stream, it was like a no quarter aggro deck, and it's also really, really fun. I love her, but I'm not as good as a player as you are. This has been a treat. Hey, Clutch. Firstly, what's up? Thank you. I think, like, again, that's the intention of the stream. Is like just explaining what we're doing and why. And even if we don't play perfectly, explaining what we can do better. But like, I do think Domino, there's so much to get out of it that like, yeah, spend your time. Take your thoughts on your turn. I think that you can do, like, there's no rules in this game. Play a turn with Domino and then take it back and see if you can do something better. And I don't mean that on the luck angle to be like, oh, if we discarded this card, it would be better. But like, there's nothing wrong with like trying something. And if it doesn't work, or if it works, try something else and be like, okay, can we learn something from that? Like it's easier digitally because you can hit the undo button on dragon cards. But in person, I guess we have to do Ultron. Let's go fast. We are going to speed run this, so apologies. I'm going to be talking a fair bit faster. So good luck, everyone. It's Ultron. We're really going to like Diamond back in this scenario. I think Ultron's really interesting because I feel like Ultron Stage 3 is easier than Ultron Stage 2. So we just have to get to that as soon as possible to some extent. I could see us losing against this. Ultron is hard. I haven't played anywhere near as much Ultron as I've played against Claw, and I don't know why. I think Ultron's much more interesting, but the scenario set is going to be fun. I like throwing Longshot and counter send to the game of Domino just for theme. Yeah, you can. You definitely can. Longshot is a very cool card. Longshot shuffles into the deck. It makes your deck easier, but Longshot is very, very fun and cool. It has a wild, which is good. I can get that. I get that for sure. Never played her in protection. I was like, oh, yeah. What's her precon? Was it not protection? What was her precon in? All right, the Crimson Cowl. Again, we have to play this quickly. We don't have that much time tonight. Or today, excuse me. Ultron, 2 or 3. Ultron is, hold on, scenario set Ultron. So the counter set, we're playing Expert. We did draw Shadows of the Past turn 1 last game. Ultron has a lot of small minions, some bigger minions. Rage of Ultron, there's a couple multiple attacks. Under attack is very important to remember because Concussive Blast just does 1 damage to every character. That is very, very strong because if you're blocking with a 1 health ally, they're just destroyed. So we don't want to keep our allies on 1 health if we want to keep them around for Posse. So we have to be a bit more careful because it's very likely that that blows up a Diamondback who's activated. So we put Ultron Drone's environment into play, then we shuffled in counter deck. So it's just Expert, Ultron, and under attack because we're playing stock standard. Ultron Drones is just, it reminds you what's going on here, this environment. So basically every face down encounter card, or sorry, face down player card is a drone that has scheme 1, attack 1, and base hit points. I'm not going to be marking their hit points with a die unless that hit points is increases above 1. So every face down blue card is just a 1 health ally, minion, and when it's defeated, it goes into our discard pile. Very cool mechanic to make tokens in a set that came with no tokens. The Crimson Cowl, 3 threat on a scheme is pretty absurd, but you're not meant to stay here for that long. As much as you do want to stay here as long as you can, but a single advance just kind of cooks this guaranteed. When revealed, each player puts the top card of their deck into play face down. We're not going to know what that is. In theory, we could lose a probability field or a really important card, but we're hoping for the best. This is Ultron. So schemes for 2, attacks for 2, but more importantly, when Ultron attacks you, place the top card of your deck into play face down engaged with you as a drone. Until the end of the attack, Ultron gets +1 attack for each drone minion engaged with you. This is a scenario that's very easy for you to tech your deck into the scenario. What I would do at a minimum in this scenario is I'd play Energy Barrier. I'd play 2 copies of Energy Barrier. It's probably worth doing immediately because Energy Barrier is just so good. Because when a drone hits you, it blows up, let alone you can blow up the next drone. Let alone when Ultron attacks you, you can blow up the drone that Ultron spawned as long as it does damage. So I think this is like the easiest way to tech into this in protection, which you very early on had really good cards for Ultron. I do think Ultron's a scenario that is one of the easier villains to build your deck around. I don't want him to take my cards, at least not when deck testing. I don't know if that's a big deal. I think it's actually interesting. It's like shows you if you draw bad or like if you don't draw the right card, what it does to you. But I don't know. It's annoying when it like gets Captain America's shield or Hawkeye's bow. Like that I get. That's really frustrating. I don't think the stealing cards thing is as impactful as people think it is. Domino Precon is justice. Get out. Did not think they would give justice to a 1 thwart character, but then maybe that's why. All right. We got to go fast. Fast and loose. I don't think we talked about his attacks, but when he attacks you, we have to put a drone into play, and then he gets +1 attack for each drone. It's very important you destroy every drone as soon as possible. If we want to put an energy barrier in the deck, what would we cut? We would probably cut Atlas Bear. Hard to ignore. Real quick. 2 energy berries. 1 second. Let's go. Subconsciously, why I don't pull him out all that often. The reason why I play this game, and I know I've said this on the channel before when we played our 1000th game, is I played Ultron versus the pre-con of Quicksilver and just had the most fun. Oh my god, is that a cool scenario? Okay, let's go. Again, we don't have long. We have about 27 minutes. No, there's no shot. This is foolish. Luck be a lady, we don't need it. Posse, we don't need it. That we need. Oh, sorry, we're meant to pin a card down. I'll pin a random card. Obviously, it would have been Luck Be a Lady, which is fine, but we're meant to do that first before we draw our mulligan. Probability Field's our best card in the whole deck. Domino's Pistol's the next best card in our deck. We're keeping these for sure. We want to double. 2 pistols is a bit too much on the setup, but these shoot drones. We don't like drones, and we have a jackpot. That's incredible. We can double jackpot for this. So far, so good. Lockjaw, amazing. Strength, amazing. Oh my god, is that a good hand? How do we play this? I already have to think way too much. Okay, how are we playing this? So order in the discard pile here doesn't matter. So we're just going to set up. So we're going to do strength for probability field. Great. We're going to now use our alter ego ability to trade a card. We'll trade Lockjaw for strength. Great. So far, so good. We will have to play our pistol. And I think we just play defensive conditioning. So we gain 3 health and +1 defense. Really good start. We'll flip up. We'll use our pistol to shoot this. In theory, we should have done this in hero mode, because if we draw an extra encounter card or extra resource that changes things, yeah, that's what I mean. So this is why you shouldn't speedrun Domino, but we're going to have to do it. We'll shoot this drone. It was a genius. Okay, cool. Then we will attack for 1-2. We need to get through Ultron 2 fast, so we're attacking for 1-2. Hopefully we draw a... No, there's nothing we can play here. 1-2. We got so punished. We could have played another card here. So we attack for 4 into the villain. And we have 2 of these in our hand that we can't do anything with, so we really messed that up. We should have been more thoughtful, but of course, we're a speedrun. Let's go. Ready for fight. Energy. Right place, right time. Energy barrier is perfect. Second energy barrier is also perfect. Goes to 2. The villain's now going to attack us for more than 2 in a card. So the villain's attacking us. So when Ultron attacks you, put the top card of your deck as a drone, has +1 attack for each drone, is attacking for 3. We can block for a bit. We want to take a bit of damage because we're ready for fights. We'll fire, so we'll just take this to the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take 5. Take another one, we take 6. 1 counter card. Assault. Okay, this is where it gets bad. This is really bad because every extra activation adds another drone. So now Ultron is attacking us for 4 and a card, which is really bad. We will Domino, discarding a card. We discard Diamondback, so we're blocking for 4, 5, 6. So that's good. So 4, 5, 6, take no damage, discarding a drone. Okay, so not amazing, but we can work with this. So we have no cards, physicals to play that are ready for a fight. I think it's more important we just play 2 energy barriers here because they deal with drones really, really well. So we're going to play one, we're going to play another, which is pass. In theory, we can do Domino's pistol first. The best case by a mile is White Fox, so we'll pistol this one. We're going to do... Oh my god! This is why you play Domino. It is so absurdly fun. That shoots 1 drone. Then we'll White Fox the other drone. It would be so fun if we played this slower too, because the axis that you hit a drone, then decide to jump down is really cool, but we don't have time to do that. We'll play an energy barrier. We'll play an energy barrier. Let's go. Oh my god, what a start. I can't believe we got it. 1,000 games? Yeah, I've played over 1,000 games of Marvel Champions. It's like at 1,300 now. These don't exhaust. Pass. Loving Ultron lately. Good afternoon. Hey, Board Game, how's it going? You drop a lot of comments on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you're well. Mid team, not today. Lucky and good. Sharpshooter. We don't need an outlaw. Not the most important one we have, but that's okay. Is this going to hit 3? Was it at 2? It was at 2. I messed up. I saw our hand, but I didn't realize this was going to advance. So we're definitely going to leave a drone on the table. I don't know what card it was. I guess it was Nick, because we're going to knock out that drone and the next drone. So we're meant to thwart this with White Fox instead. Sorry, Speedrun. Allow me to do that because I didn't realize that would advance. Villain is now activating. We get a drone, so it's attacking for 4 and a card. We want to take some damage here to knock out the drones, but if we take 1 drone, I'll knock out the second. So we'll defend for 4. We'll probability field. So we're defending for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take no damage. This drone attacks us. We'll use the damage. We'll redirect it with energy barrier, and then we'll knock out the second drone. So this drone kills this drone, which is a Pip the Pug. In theory, we should have knocked out this one because we knew what it was. Encounter card. Vibranium armor. You need to get rid of this thing because it's really, really strong against us. Because the toughness every time we shoot it with a pistol is pretty bad. Doing great. We're speedrunning this. It's dizzying heights and terrifying lows of rebel ships. Okay, cool. So we're going to just go ahead and pistol this thing. So we'll shoot, discard. Good workout. Yeah, that was fine. It was Nick. We knew that. We need a threat 1 here. Med team's okay because we're a bit banged up, but this hand can't do too much. We've cleared all the drones, which is nice. We have to exhaust ourselves to get rid of the vibranium armor. So I think just playing outlaw is a good spot to be, but we float a resource here in a really ugly way. So nothing we can do with that. We needed to dig deep. So I'll pay 3 for outlaw, and I think outlaw will block the next attack so we can be ready to get rid of the vibranium. So toughness, 3 health. We won't use her text. White Fox, we'll do our stay alive thwart. We'll pass. We're not going to hold on to this. Draw 5. Here we go. Unflappable. Nice. Painted Lady. We have been perfectly blocking. Ready for a fight. We can jump down. Not today. Right place, right time. That's good. As much as 3 threat. It's not a lot to deal with. All right. Villain's attacking us. We get a drone. Attacking us for 3 and a card. We'll block with Outlaw. 1, 2. Sorry, that's not a boost card. 1, 2, 3. Advance. Nice. Takes the toughness. The drone hits us. We will delete the drone with its own damage. So we take nothing. What doesn't kill me? I'm not sure if we took the drone damage. We were not meant to. Encounter card, repair sequence. So I think the surges. It says Ultron heals 2 damage for each drone minion in play. If there's no drone minions or no heal, surge. Concussive blast. Okay, bummer. So this is what we're talking about. Nope. This one's always hard to find because there's like so many cards with this name. So I have to deal 1 damage to each character. So we take 1. White Fox is knocked out. Outlaw goes down. Okay, so fine. Not the end of the world. We could jump down this turn. We have to exhaust and spend 2 physicals to get rid of vibranium armor, which we definitely have to do here. I think we just set up Unflappable and go for there. So I think we're going to play these. Do we want Painted Lady? I don't think we have enough time to jump down. So I think we'll just do... Oh, but then we can't play Ready for a Fight. So I guess this is fine. So we'll pay 2 on vibranium armor. We exhaust ourselves to get rid of this. I guess that means we're advancing, so we can't do that. So we'll pay these 2. And then we'll do a really low value right place, right time. It forces us to discard, so this might not be amazing. Yeah, especially because we keep doing that. We should have done this in the other order, but we're playing on speed. We should have done right place, right time first, because we would have gotten this. With this, we could have kept a card in our hand, and now we're floating this resource. But we'll clear, what is it, 4 threat off of this, and then we have this. We are decking out. Not much we can do. We'll pass. We won't hold on to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deck out. We need one more card. We shuffled away our dog, but all our digging deeps and white fox are back in the deck, so discarding cards is now pretty high value. 3 threat is hard to jump down, but we definitely could have set up something. We're just playing very, very quickly. We definitely need to do Ultron damage. I can't believe we haven't done any damage to Ultron, but yeah, it should be okay. Okay, good. This goes to 1. Ultron's attacking us for 3 in a card because it adds a drone. We will block, so we're blocking for 4. That's Diamondback. Sucks to miss Diamondback, but we're blocking for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No damage. Drone attacks us. We'll redirect the drone damage back to the drone. In theory, actually, because we're not going to deck out for a bit, we should do this one, just so if we have to discard this one, it's less empty. So the drone is discarded. Not today. 2 encounter cards. First one. Memories of the Apocalypse, of Another Life, of Armageddon. We'll get there. Memories of Armageddon. So our text box is blank. We have to exhaust our alter ego to get rid of this. That's hard. Yep. Oops. Rage of Ultron. So hero Ultron attacks you. So when Ultron attacks us, we take this. We have to discard damage equal, or cards equal to the damage we've taken, which actually can help us, which is nice. The problem is that this is attacking for 3 in a card, so we have to block with Outlaw or we will lose the game. So 1, 2, 3. 4. So the attack, this damage dealt. So this damage dealt 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to Outlaw. So we have to discard 4 cards from the deck. This is not a scenario that we should be playing this fast against. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, a white fox. Uh-oh. Notably, white fox doesn't care how she's discarded, right? This is when white fox is discarded from the top of your deck. It doesn't care if a villain does it, or an encounter card does it, or you do it. So white fox is here. Notably, energy barrier only protects damage from heroes, right? Yeah, it's when you would. Okay. Cool. All right, so our text box is blank. That's fine. We can Domino's Pistol to target this thing. We discarded Domino's Pistol. We'd love to have a second one. Ooh, jackpot. Nice. Could have discarded that too, which would have been fine. So now if we jump down, it's a pretty good spot, but we can't literally jump down here at all. So I think we're just going to play Lucky Break. We're going to do right place, right time into What Doesn't Kill Me. So we'll spend 2 on What Doesn't Kill Me. So we get some forward momentum here. So we'll recover 2 and ready. Nice. Then we'll let White Fox thwart 1 on this, and then we'll attack for 1, 2, discard a card, 3, 4 into the villain. We get some villain damage in there, which is good. Juggling Jackpot is a very fun game loop. It's so much fun. We can decide here whether we play Weapon X for the jump down or Lucky Break for the encounter card. Honestly, Lucky Break might be better because there's advances still in the deck, but I'll play Weapon X just to be resource efficient, and then we'll pass. Again, we can't swap with the top of the deck, but that can't be the end of the world. There's a ready for a fight, so that's how we jump down. In fact, there's every ready for a fight. This goes to 1. Ultron's attacking. 4. 3 in a card. We'll block. We'll discard. Lockjaw into the bin. That's good. So we're blocking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take no damage. Drone attacks us. We'll defeat it. It's Pip. Okay. Dog into dog is sick. Encounter card. Gang up. Yeah, not great. So the villain's attacking us again. So we have to add a drone. So here we're attacking for 3 in a card. We could block with White Fox, but White Fox is what's thwarting us. If we look at the hand here, not today was not a really great play. We're definitely going to be jumping down this turn. Ready, really ready for fight. The most ready. Now, if we take damage here, like the most that this can be is 6 damage, which will be 5 or 4 damage with 2 energy barriers. It also knocks out the drone, which is good. This turn we're definitely jumping down and we're exhausted. So Memories of Armageddon was probably not the turn that we should have blocked for this. Not sure what we're meant to do here. I don't want to block with White Fox, but this is a lot of damage and our hand has no healing. And we're exhausted. The double activates against Ultron are really scary because then there's more drones and we're so lucky we had energy barriers. Otherwise we'd be super, super cooked here. So I don't know what we're meant to do. 3, I have to think quickly though. My gut says we just take it. But White Fox actually heals a heck of a lot and we still have a pistol. So I think we'll just block with White Fox. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't take 4 damage. She's knocked out. Okay, cool. Pistol, we'll just clean up the drone. Digging deep into our hand, love it. It's a painted lady. So here It's a pretty bad hand, so we're gonna have to get our dumpster dog here. So we can get energy on top of our deck. The problem is we can't activate it or access it with Memories of Armageddon. So we'll do Ready for a Fight for Ready for a Fight. It's honestly not probably a jump down angle here because we can't get rid of Memories of Armageddon. The only thing we can do here is Weapon X. If we Weapon X, we can discard cards until we find something. The issue is like most of the cards in our discard pile, or like most of our cards left over are hero cards, like our events. Actually, it's half and half. The only cards that we can get with hero cards that we can play are Outlaw and Diamondback, which are here. And then there's like a couple upgrades and supports like Pip, Lucky Break, and then the one cost one. So like it's not actually likely that Weapon X gets us anything besides a resource. So I think we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll keep them not today. And we'll go grab Dumpster Dog. If we could control the top of our hand and trade it with the top card of our deck, we would do that, but we can't because our text is blank. So we'll play Lockjaw and we'll just use Lockjaw to attack for 2. Again, once you get through Ultron 2 to get to Ultron 3, the game actually gets a lot easier because Ultron stops spawning drones as much as the drones are stronger. And I think we will hold on to this because this will be at 2. 1, 2. Oh, it would have been lucky and good. Okay, that wouldn't be the worst. 3, 4. Med team we need. 5. Good hand, actually. Goes to 2. Ultron attacks. For 3 and a card, we will... I think we just don't get rid of Memories of Aggression. We're going to go block for 4, 5, 7. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Text on repair sequence. Heals 1 damage. Okay. So we take no damage. We remove 2 threat. Drone attacks us. We'll knock it out. It's good to get these into the bin before we cycle. The drone was what doesn't kill me, which is a really good draw for us. Counter card, Android Efficiency. I think this is 2 more drones. Each player puts a top card of the deck. It's 1 more drone. Okay, fine. Not a bad encounter card. As much as Ultron will be attacking pretty hard next turn. Domino's Pistol will shoot the drone. Give us Digging Deep. Nailed it. God, Domino's fun. It's a good workout. So now we have more resources in our hand. We want to keep Lockjaw for the deck cycle. Nick Fury is a pretty good block this turn, so we can stay ready. So I think we just do 1, 2, 3, 4 for Nick. That was such a good Digging Deep. Otherwise, we would have to only not play Nick and pass. So Nick's in play. We draw 3, which decks us out, I think, which is good because Lockjaw survives. Problem is one of the energy barriers misses the cycle, and this is actually a very playable hand. We just have to hope the top of the deck is the icon we want with Luck Be a Lady because we can't control the top of the deck anymore. I must be off, friend. I start my last week of work for my current employer. My move-in date is Saturday morning. Saturday. Moving fast. Hope to catch a stream content soon. Good luck. Have fun. Hey, best of luck with the new move. Hopefully the job transition, however it's going, is not too bad. I know it's a really stressful time, so hey, hopefully things are going well. Thanks so much for dropping in. Wishing the best. We have 12 minutes. All right, that's exactly 3 cards. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and rip a Luck Be a Lady. So we're going to discard the top card of our deck. It's a physical, so we have to deal 3 damage to an enemy. I mean, that's fine. The threat one would have been the bad one. We'll attack with Nicholas into Ultron. That's all we got. We won't hold into the Digging Deep. We'll pass. And we'll keep Lockjaw as a panic blocker if we need to. Because doing 2 damage this turn or next turn doesn't really move the needle. Right place. Sharpshooter. Good workout. Digging Deep. Ready for fight. Would love to put the Digging Deep on top of our deck. Unfortunately, we can't. This goes to 1. Ultron gets a drone. The villain attacks for 3 and a card. We'll block with Nicholas. 4, 5. Bigger drone. Good to not see it. Nick is knocked. Drone attacks us. We'll destroy it. So not today. 1 encounter card. Invasive AI. Yeah, some of the schemes are actually pretty bad. I think we have a threat card in our hand. When revealed, each player discards the top 3 cards of the deck. This could help us. Good workout. Oh man, imagine we discarded a white fox there. So 3 threat, we need to get rid of this. We definitely don't want that on the table. Okay, so we do have a right place, right time, which is nice. That's guaranteed to clear this. Other card we can play is Sharpshooter, which doesn't really matter. We're just doing damage to Ultron here. When you advance Ultron, it's really bad because it spawns a bunch of drones and it spawns, I think, invasive AI, if not another side scheme. So we do have to be prepared for that. That's important. The only cards we can play here are these 3. So we're going to only be able to play 2 of them. So good workout, doesn't matter. Sharpshooter might actually matter, but probably not. It helps when the drones get more health, which they can. So I think we're just going to start here by spending 2 on right place, right time, and we're target invasive AI. Best case scenario by a mile here is we hit a white fox. So we're doing 3 threat. Okay, it's a Diamondback, which we definitely want. Clear that. All right, Lockjaw's our blocker. We're not going to jump down, as much as we could to get rid of Memories of Armageddon. Maybe that's worth it, actually. We can Weapon X for a card. Weapon X, we haven't found White Fox yet. This hand is not super important. We can do... How much damage do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could advance Ultron this turn. I'm just pretty sure Ultron 3 is really bad for you. I remember the advance being scary. Yeah, searches for Ultron's Imperative, which once that's in play, ideally you advance this, but Ultron's Imperative is scary because it adds like, I think 2 or 3 drones, which we're not prepared for any drones anymore. So I do think we actually do jump down to get rid of Memories of Armageddon because I think pushing damage on this turn doesn't matter. And also, well, we can't recover, but yeah, getting rid of this will be nice. So we'll jump down. Okay, we'll exhaust our identity to get rid of this. So that's it. So now we can use our text, which means the top card of our deck is accessible. It has to be right place, right time, though, because it was the last card we played. And I think we're just going to do Weapon X for some damage here, let alone to cycle our deck. So we'll take a damage and start ripping. No, oh, that sucks. Okay, we have another pistol. That's equally okay. Then I think we'll just do 2 into another pistol, which we can't use, but that means we can take out 2 drones a turn. And then I don't hold out to Sharpshooter and we pass. Draw 6. 1, jackpot, nice. Med team, we can play that White Fox. We can get on top of the deck now, so good that we did what we did. Posse's not very useful. Painted Lady, okay, good hand. Goes to 2. Villain's going to attack us. Technically, we'll scheme. We could let the scheme go through for what it's worth. It's not the end of the world if the scheme goes through. We just have to add a drone a turn. But if we can keep this as long as we can on all, Crimson Cowl, it's like so much better for us. So I think we will crack a ready for fight and jump up to hero mode. Yeah, that seems fine. Do we have a ready for fight in our hand? We don't. That means Ultron puts a drone, and then Ultron attacks us for 3 and a card. We don't have to do much with our activation here because Lockjaw can deal with the main scheme, and then we might be able to replay Lockjaw. So we'll just defend for 4, 5. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take no damage. The drone does attack us for 1 though, and now the double activation gets a bit scarier because we need to knock at the drone. That's what the pistols do. 1 counter card. Okay, so I'm glad that we did this in this order because the advance is going to go through. So we're getting another drone and we go to the next scheme. So Ultron at least schemes here for 1, 2, 3, 4. No Shadow of the Past is nice, and this cleans. Assault on NORAD. Assault on NORAD. This is one of the few ones that actually has like a named city place that exists in our universe. Each player puts a top card of the deck as a drone. Luckily, we have 2 guns, and then we advance. Assault on NORAD. So this one gives you a decision that you have to make every turn. If you're good at threat, it's an easier decision to make. If we have energy barriers, it's also an easier decision. But after placing threat here during step 1 of the villain phase, either you play 2 more threat or you put a drone. And the problem with Ultron is the more drones, the more his attack is, let alone if he double attacks. It's not exponential, but it's pretty bad for us. And that's it. All right, I think White Fox is way more important than Jackpot. So we'll start with our hero text and we'll put White Fox on top of the deck using a swap. So we got Outlaw, we put White Fox there. We will pistol the first one. We discard White Fox. She enters play. It's genius. Cool. That's on our discard pile if we want to jump down, which we have a bit more room to do that. I think we just play Med Team to heal ourselves. I guess we'll just shoot the other one in case we get an extra resource. So we'll shoot this one. It's a strength. Okay. Not an extra resource like we thought it would be. It's a ready for fight. That might be our last one. No threat. We could do all the damage to Ultron. With this hand, having Outlaw with the toughness is good, so I think we just play Outlaw, play Med Team. We could play Unflappable too, honestly. We are been blocking, and getting a resource a turn is nice, but I don't mind just like tempoing these out, so I'll play Med Team. Again, we don't need to have the best line, we just need to have a line that ends the game in enough time, as much as we're not playing a rush strategy. We'll exhaust this to heal 2 from ourselves. We could do it to Lockjaw, but I don't think it's super important. And then we'll play Outlaw, who has a toughness. After she uses the toughness, then we'll do her attack, because it's a big attack. White Fox for 1. And Ultron's in striking distance next turn. Okay, so I don't know if we get... I think we put threat. Let's see what we draw in our hand, but I don't know if I want to play... Oh, we're decking out. So yeah, I don't know if we want to put another drone when we draw extra encounter cards. So what doesn't kill me is good. Lucky and good. Right place is good, so we can add more threat for sure. Lucky Break is okay, and then we have Pip, which is fine. Now the deck cycles, which is important. White Fox missed the deck cycle, which sucks, but all the Digging Deeps are in there, and our Energy Berries are in there, which is one of our best cards in this entire scenario. I'm very glad we made that change because it really kept us afloat. How much damage we saved? We killed 6 drones and healed 6 of the Energy Barriers. It's so good in this scenario. Okay, so this goes to 1. We can decide what to do with it. I think we're just going to put it up to 3 instead and not get another drone. Because regardless, Ultron's going to spawn a drone and it's going to attack us. This attack is going to be for 3 and a card. We could block with Domino. Domino's activation could threat, so I think we're just going to use our toughness while we can get the value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not drawing under fire is the best thing you can ask for, and takes the toughness off. The drone pinks us for 1, we'll take it. 1 encounter card. Oh, sorry, it should be 2 encounter cards. So technically, we could have drawn the exhaustion there. Under fire, excuse me. It's random cards, but we're meant to get another encounter card because we decked out, so excuse me. This is amazing, because this is Ultron's Imperative, which if we advance Ultron, it actually doesn't do anything because it spawns this card. Now, it's a really bad card, but spawning it now and advancing Ultron is really good. We're very much incentivized to knock out Ultron this round. So 2 threat and a hazard. When revealed, the first player puts the top 2 cards of the deck face down as drones, so we really don't want to be activated on. Best card we could draw here is possibly Diamondback. And okay, that's bad. That's really bad. That's upgraded drones. So this now says each drone gets +1 attack and +1 hit points. So they're not actually all 2 health. So that added 3 health this turn. If we get lucky with their pistol, we still one-shot these. They don't thwart harder, they just attack harder. But if we want to get rid of this, it requires a jackpot or just a whole bunch of wilds. So I am going to slow down for a second here because we're really incentivized to knock out Ultron because then we don't have to deal with this. So we have a lot of things to do on this turn. Breathe, Andre. You have 4 minutes. 4 dang minutes. Okay. So we can attack for 2. It can be more with probability field. I honestly think I don't know if we want to tank the drones, but I honestly think doing damage to Ultron is way more important this turn because of this imperative. It's so much more important we knock this out. So Lockjaw attacks for 2. We attack for 3 to 4. That puts us in shooting range. And I think we just do that and then figure out what happens from there. We have a What Doesn't Kill Me in our hand, so we can ready ourselves and do it again. But I think we just start hitting Ultron. No card in our hand is better on top of our deck than hitting a Digging Deep. So I don't think we do any swaps here. Because it's just a random card. I guess in theory we could discard a card because we're not going to play this card, and we could have a chance of getting an attack card. Like having a good workout would be very good. I just don't see what card we could possibly swap with our text, so I think we'll just do a swap with this. Max punish. Yeah, I guess there's more Digging Deeps than workouts, so that probably was wrong. So we have a Digging Deep in our hand, so that sucks. We will attack for guaranteed 4 into Ultron. Maybe it's worth shooting with a pistol when it's guaranteed, but I don't think it's a big deal. So Ultron will take 4. These don't have guard. Lockjaw will attack for 2. Yeah, that really sucked because we need more resources for Lockjaw. So the villain takes 2. And then on 1 health, we'll just defeat with White Fox and we'll advance to Ultron 3. Oh, I forgot about this text. Each drone gets +1 attack, +1 hit point. Oh, I forgot about that. Wait, these drones are massive. Search and counter deck and discard all of our Ultron's Imperative. So that was a very bad turn to advance. We probably should have cleared this first. Now we can still clear it. We probably do. But yeah, losing the Digging Deep off the top was terrible for us because now we can't play What Doesn't Kill Me and clear Ultron drones. We're short a resource. If we didn't do the swap, we could have done both. So actually very, very bad, as much as we could maybe still get another copy off the top of the deck because there's still 2 more Digging Deeps. That sucked. We were very much hard punished for that. Okay, if that's the case, we'll pistol this drone. So 1, 2 does 1 damage. Sucks. So that's bad. Now, wow, we have some big decisions here. I don't think we can get rid of the upgraded drones. So I think we just do 1, 2 for What Doesn't Kill Me. And we're gonna have a bad turn here. So we're gonna recover 2. And ready. Now, notably, Ultron has different text here, which is important because Ultron now says that Ultron cannot take damage while there's a minion in play, but Ultron no longer spawns drones. So as long as we're able to put 3 threat their return, we can't get extra drones on us. It's just entirely the counter deck. So that's actually like a nice thing we've got going. Now we will attack into this drone. We really need to find a Digging Deep here. So 1, 2, 3. We knock out 1 drone. It's a jackpot. Really funny to find that there. All right, these resources are useless. We planned to return terribly, got really punished by the Digging Deep. Feels bad. Especially now we know where a jackpot is. The only thing we can do is we can Domino's pistol this and hope that's a Digging Deep. It's 2 damage though. It's energy, okay. So we're gonna be hit for 1 drone for 3 damage and Ultron for 6 damage. We'll block with White Fox. We'll block with ourselves. This is useless. We'll play a lucky break. I really don't like what we did here. Oh, actually, it would have been probably better to med team Dog because Dog could block this turn, or Dog. Yeah, Dog might have been wanted to block, but I guess we'll just med team ourselves. Oh no, we only have, yeah, we can med team ourselves so we can recover 2. We have 12 health. We'll hold on to right place right time because we're going to need it. We're going to have a lot of threat. Painted Lady. Man, yeah, that was a really bad punish. We could have used that extra resource so bad. Okay, Nick is good in this turn. All right, so we're going to choose to put this on 6. Ultron is now attacking for 4 and a card. We'll put White Fox in the way. 5. White Fox is knocked. Drone attacks us for 3 damage. We'll just take it. 2 encounter cards. Oh, bad. Rage Voltron. So the villain's attacking us, so luckily doesn't spawn another drone, but every damage this does discards a card on top of our deck. This can do up to 7 damage, which can defeat us. So I think here we defend. Yeah, I think we defend. So 4, 5. So attacking for 4, 5, 6, 7. So we take 2 damage. Now, notably, it says Ultron attacks, discard the top card for each damage dealt. Dealt is different than taken. I think this actually deals 7 damage. Sorry, yeah, 7 damage. Because damage is dealt and then you take damage, right? So I think we discard 7 here. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to do the quick thing that I'm pretty sure what it is. So I'm going to discard 7. It could help us, though, which is the downside. Because you do... What does it say on toughness? Toughness says you can't take damage. I think damage is... I forget what goes first, dealt or take. I'm going to discard 2 cards because it's worse for us. Because we discard fewer cards. So we discard Diamondback and Energy Barrier. Last encounter card, we can cancel it. Concussive Blast, that's totally acceptable. So we just each take 1. Okay. It was 7? Okay, so we'll discard 5 more. Nice. Posse, not today. Digging Deep, love it. Okay, cool. And in theory, we can choose the order these go into the bin. It doesn't really matter. We want to put a resource on top. We'll just put Diamondback on top. Thank you. Defense lowers damage dealt. So 2 different things are being said. Because Rage of Ultron is damage dealt or damage taken? Dealt. Yeah, so I think we should only discard it 2. Because, yeah, defense lowers the damage dealt. And then you take what's left over. So, yeah, so we should only discard it 2. So I guess we'll fix that. 2, 3, 4, 5, shuffle. Okay. We can recover. This is a very big recovery. Ultron has 27 health and it's already 102. So we're really going to have to send it. But yeah, we're at a point that we can maybe get through this. Okay. First thing first, nothing in our hand that we want to swap. What doesn't kill me is definitely worth playing. We have the physicals in hand to play it. I think Nick Fury might be better, but we still have Digging Deeps in the deck. So I'm going to start with Outlaw. Outlaw is going to attack the minion. So we're going to discard a card. We do 3 damage, knocking out the drone. Okay, it was a good workout. That's what we wanted. That's our damage card. So now we just need to clear this, do damage to Ultron, win. So simple. It could not be easier. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. Right place, right time feels a bit bad to get rid of, but Nick Fury is usually a bit better. 1, 2, 3. That's a Digging Deep we would have discarded, but they're all random cards at the end of the day. Oh, we can still do it. So we'll use our hero text. We'll replace this Digging Deep with the top of our deck. A good workout. Okay, that's a lot of damage. And we can play all these cards. So we're going to start by shooting Ultron. We do 2 damage. Cool. Then we'll shoot Ultron again. 2 damage. Nice. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Nick Fury will clear this. And then we'll just rip this hand on the table. So what's most important? Energy Barrier is important, but Ultron's not spawning that many drones and they have 2 health. So it's not that most important. I think we'll always do a good workout because we need to win the game like 5 minutes ago. So we're going to do 4 damage, 5 damage to the villain. He can now take damage, or it can take damage because there's no drones on the table. We'll do what doesn't kill me, I think. So we'll recover 2 and ready. We'll attack for 1, 2. Should we thwart? We should thwart. 1, 2. Stranded Energy Barrier, whatever. I think the med team should have been ready here. We'll recover 2 on ourselves and deck out. That's it. Pass. Nick Fury misses the deck out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 ready for fights, an unflappable, and a luck. Okay. I'm stressed. Are you stressed? I'm stressed. Are you stressed? I'm stressed. Last card, not today. I don't think we're going to play that. Actually, yeah, with Nick, we're not going to play that. So this goes to 5. We're going to do 2 more to put it on 7 of 10. If there's an advance, we can cancel it and draw a different encounter card. Ultron is now attacking for 4 and a card. We'll block with Nicholas. 4. Boost. Choose to either spend a physical resource or put the top card as a drone face down in front of you. We'll go ahead and spend a physical resource. Okay, Nick is defeated. On top of our deck. 2 encounter cards because we decked out. First one. Advanced Ultron Drone. This one's annoying because it actually does get +1 health. And when we defeat it, we get another drone. So this sucks because it has like double guard. Second one is concussion blasters. So villain gains fatality 1. Exhaust your hero, spend 2 energy to get rid of this. That is not easy to do. Okay. So this hand is not great. We could do a swap to make Luck Be a Lady do something, or we could just hope that we're lucky. I think we're at the point that we just hope that we're lucky, because we can guarantee that it does 3 damage, but 3 damage is not enough for this card. So I honestly think that we play Ready for Fight. We could jump down, do all this sort of stuff. We need to be thwarting though. Oh, I think we might have to scoop here. I don't think we have enough time to close this out, but it's getting close, and I think we can do this. I just think I have to be respectful here and scoop. So I'm just going to play this turn out, and we'll call it there. But I think we're on track to do this. So sorry to like get that not the satisfying ending that we all want. So I think Ready for Fight's our most flexible card here. So we'll do Luck Be a Lady, and we're just hoping the top card is something impactful. So we're discarding Double Mental. Whoa! So that's remove 4 threat. That's pretty good. Cool. All right, we'll shoot the drone. 2 damage. We'll shoot the drone. Hey, that's Lockjaw. That's 1 damage. I guess we'll attack for 1/2. We can rip a card. Does it do anything for us? No, it doesn't. Unless it's White Fox. It's the Posse. So that defeats Ultron, which spawns a drone. I think we might have done that in the wrong order. We'll go ahead and play Ready for Fight. Oh, we pitched the wrong cards there. We're meant to keep something to play Ready for Fight, but we can't. So we'll play Unflappable. I don't think we'll attack with Outlaw. We can't attack Ultron. We'll pass. But unfortunately, I'm so sorry, y'all. I think we're going to have to call it there. We'll just see our next 5 cards. Right place, Painted Lady, a good workout, Digging Deep, and What Doesn't Kill Me. I think we're actually very close to having enough damage. This will go up to 6. Let's just see what happens. Ultron attacks us for a lot. We'll block with Outlaw for... We'll spend a mental to not get a drone. Painted. Drone attacks us for 2. Counter card. Assault. Actually scary. Oh, we deck out 2. Yeah, it's a bit bad. It's a bit bad. But unfortunately, it's going to be a DNF on our side. Apologies for that, but I think we have it. I think if we played slower, we also had a better time there. I think we should spend more time like setting up our alter ego stuff, but we've just been like straight ripping it. I think we actually go ahead and lucky break the assault because I don't think we want to get attacked here. And the average encounter card I think is less bad than the assault. Like if we draw the healing one, I don't think we mind. So we would have drawn Caught Off Guard. Yeah, that's a lot better. So yeah, that seems okay. That's the doorbell. So we're going to call it there. Thanks so much for hanging out. That was our stream for today. Again, the link for this deck list is down below in the description. It is just a ton of fun. I cannot recommend it enough. I think Ultron's going to be a really fun and interesting fight. I do highly recommend playing the energy barriers. Probably even 3 is correct. You can take out something like the Not Todays that are not super consequential. But that's mostly it. Apologies, we've been busy around here, so I don't think there's going to be any video content this week. I'd be very surprised if there was. I'm still editing a 4-hour Netrunner thing, so like that's been taking up a lot of time. But thanks so much for hanging out. Again, yeah, deck list in the description. If you've been appreciating these streams and this sort of content, if you're watching live or you're watching the VOD, if you want to take a second to leave a like on the video, it really does help the channel. Subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. There's so many ways to like help this channel out, and we're honestly just growing through the algorithm, so it's incredibly appreciated. If you play this deck and you have any feedback, please let me know, because love to hear what your thoughts are. But with that, we're gonna go greet some family who are dropping in on Sunday. So thanks so much for hanging out. We'll catch you in the next one.